But
For
yeah.
life. Oh, Walter's still up. Let me take him away for now. So.
What? Walter, what are you doing here, you goof?
Yeah, crazy guy just popping in everywhere.
Silly Walters.
Yeah.
Walter.
Such a funny guy, that Walters.
You gotta say it the right way though, like a Newman thing. Walter.
Walter.
Excited to see how Brindle does an annual employee performance review.
Perfect.
Wow, that is a bold start. All right.
Oh.
Annual. I've been there like a month. Oh man. It's,
The year's a full month. Yeah.
Look, the year's got to start some point.
Right? I need you all to know. I do need you all to remember. In game, it's been 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's been pure chaos.
Leveling up this much in 5 days is pretty wild.
We are
almost dying as much as we have in 5 days.
By the seat of our pants, we will level up. Or die trying? Yeah, no, there we go.
That sounds correct. If I recall correctly,
those words into existence.
It's not wrong.
Actually, let me double check. Let me double check what the first day was.
I believe it was 18 chess.
Yeah.
And what's today?
23.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it might have been 17.
5 days.
It might have been the 17th.
Yeah.
So maybe 6 days. But I mean, hell, the last Urban Shadows game I ran.
Yeah, 17th. We started this game on the 17th. Today is the 23rd.
A long couple of days. You should be taking levels of exhaustion.
Relationships. It hasn't even been a week.
But you haven't had any breakups yet.
Does this mean Brindle was able to leave the flat before he ever had to pay rent?
No, because I think we established that you had been around for like at least a month.
That's right. I think it was a couple months.
You were the newest resident in the house.
True,
but you had been here for a little bit.
Madam Ethelwhite would come find you with a broom and just be like, "Where's my money?"
She learned it quickly. I think it's get it up front from Brindle. Up front.
Yeah.
No,
but now we're trauma bonded together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of
a car.
I forgot. I guess we're putting Delta Green mechanics in this.
Why? No, wait, why? What'd you say? No.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
What?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure the last urban fantasy thing I ran was Machinations. I think season 1 of Machinations was only 3 weeks in real time.
I think it was like 3 weeks. It's just we did so much stupid shit. Okay. By we, I mean music. Made so many capital C choices, mostly because he didn't ever remember the previous session and did not remember what choices he had made.
When your was it RuPaul Lounge Singer Vampire decides to settle a dispute with grenade launchers at dawn, you've gone off the rails.
Yeah.
I was like,
those were words.
Words.
Like even me, I'm just like looking at the map of this and like I'm like, I don't know how we got here. I'm like, oh, you're gonna solve this through a duel. A duel can be, unless it's to the death, can be decided by like any means of contest that can be judged. It can be a chess game, it can be a karaoke contest, you can do rock, paper, scissors, as long as both parties agree. And the Entente, the Magical Enforcement, is like, yup, our duel masters are willing to certify this. Like, that is your duel. And we ended up at grenade launchers at dawn. And I was like, I don't know how we got here. Like, I just roll some dice, man.
So speaking of people making choices with that, I do show this off in the book, but in the very first couple chapters, John is at the Entente, who's a magic banker, shows up at the Entente because some kid refinanced his loan through the bank, which is backed by the Entente, and realized that he could fight his creditors in an effort to get the loan overturned.
I'd like to challenge you to a duel.
So he straight up challenged John to a fist fight to overturn his loan, which is not a great call on this poor kid's part. And so that's how I'm showing off the Entente mechanics.
But if it had worked,
if it works, and I mean, to be fair, he does get to do the one thing everyone truly wants to do.
Here's
and that
the
is
thing.
punch the embodiment of Fannie Mae in the face.
I was gonna
True.
say I have
It's satisfying.
enough rage and street fighting instances in my history that I think if I had the chance to fight to get rid of my student loans, I could win.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking in character or IRL?
Oh, Andy, I've fought people.
Oh,
I know,
IRL.
I know,
IRL.
I know.
No, I would.
That's for the audience at home.
I have
would
I have
rather
a
fight
broken eye and
Lavinia.
I have a broken elbow and a gouged eye on my record. So let's go.
I would rather
Dang.
fight Lavinia than Julia. Like straight up. Not
Oh no, I agree.
not even.
I've never been in a fight.
I'll fight
You know
Julia.
I find
Not
that-
since middle school have I been in a fight.
yeah.
Let's go. I love it. It's fun. It's
Let's
a
do
good
it.
time. We should do it. Let's fight.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to my cell phone for live streaming. I'm going to start driving to you. I'll see you in like 2.5 hours.
All right, this is now. We're no longer streaming on Twitch. We are now streaming on WorldStar.
I guess
Oh.
hello.
Oh. I guess we should play this game, huh?
We gotta play this game. I gotta know what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on. Speaking of fights, I guess.
Fight to find out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good. KFO,
Gotta
fight around,
fight.
find out. Did I close my music?
Right.
Nope, I didn't.
Fine.
Let's do some introductions. We got some sweet music for this too. Back to it. Not me. Della.
Me. Hello. Hi there. I'm Bedlam. Tonight I am playing Brindle Fallow, your local half-elf broccoli dealer and part-time criminal. And I
It's not
somehow
actually
got
a euphemism.
so somehow I got all wound up with these criminals from the street, heisting for good and whatnot, and I'm just trying to get by, just trying to pay rent, just trying to be a good person, and I'm all about family values and stealing things. Is that about right? I think it's about right. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, we're gonna find out what happens with Brindle and his uncle tonight, because it turns out that his family's involved with the Zentarum, possibly partially leading the Zentarum, and while Brindle is very loyal to his family, we're gonna find out how loyal his family is to him, maybe.
Heck yeah. All right. Della.
Oh, hi, I'm Della. Tonight I will be playing Fee, who is a gnomish wizard who has a friend who is a rock. She has a pet rock, and they are best friends forever, and it's not going to be a problem at all. And I am about to do some cool extra planar shit, which I don't usually get to do because I'm still a grad student in the Blackstaff Wizarding Academy. And that's going to be neat. I'm making a hat.
Ooh,
Check out this hat.
that looks lovely.
With this hat. If you like the hats I make, you can donate to my Extra Life page.
Ooh. Free plug.
Free plug.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
JD.
Hey, I am JD, and in this game I am playing Riv et al. If we include all of their various personas that mostly have not been seen thus far, except for one Mr. Luke Black, but there's at least 2 more that will probably show up at some point, which might be confusing for their partner/partners. It's a little confusing right now. Their boyfriend is on an involuntary astral vacation, and they may or may not be asked to help get him back. And they should also probably talk to their not girlfriend and their not girlfriend's sister, who is also a hoped for potential girlfriend, on account of the beautiful purple eyes and knife that they put to Riv's throat. Yeah, no, they're having a normal one. They make good choices. They have no enemies. Everything is so fine. They're just having a nice cup of coffee today.
Like, yeah, if you start
Don't give me that look, Julia.
if you start
Don't give me that
every
skeptical look.
if you start every interaction as an enemies to lovers, you just end up with all lovers.
See, Andy gets it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about Vincent Trench.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Just vibing.
Slimy man. Hi, I'm Julia. Tonight I'm going to be playing Lavinia Hale. Lavinia Hale is a half-elf. She's only got one arm due to a very violent incident that happened a year ago. She's making it all work. She's, you know, she's a cop. ACAB does include Lavinia Hale. Very stressed out about what's happening with my dad. Got a weird cryptic message I need to deal with that about. And Lavinia doesn't worry about any of the other things that she's got going on. If she provoked someone, that's someone else's problem. They can just die mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm Andrew. I just play the embodiment of the consequences of their actions. So, with that said, we can roll into this game.
I didn't like that.
So, yeah, the avatar of Rammies, I guess. I don't know. Let's speaking of this game, actually, I'll get the music going. It's kind of upbeat. It's fun. So, a lot going on this morning, right? B and Lavinia took a little trip to Blackstaff Tower where they met Kelvin Arunson, or B met them again at least, and explained what was happening with Rainier Neverember being just forcibly projected to the astral plane. And the Blackstaff has offered to help get Rainier back and has asked that he is brought to the tower immediately. He said within the hour. Because he's been in the astral plane for been in the astral plane for a minute, and that's not good if you're there willingly, and it's less good if you're there accidentally. Meanwhile, Brindle's dealing with some family problems. We'll get back to that in a second. Just a little like kerfuffle, if you will. But Riv, what's going on with your morning? You got a couple things in the queue, right? The biggest thing is, well, a letter of introduction was sent to the Castellanters the other day from your theater director, Roberto, kind of helping to start that relationship. And you've been sent back a formal invitation to visit. It's open-ended, but obviously, it would never have to be stated in an invitation, but there are hours between when you'd stop by, right? Basically some sort of like early like morning tea, some sort of like brunch type thing, afternoon type of stuff. That's all very well and good. Anything after that usually is by appointment only. But it is the morning, so that is an option. But what is it that Riv is doing this morning?
I think recognizing that and recognizing that there are going to be questions if they do not respond to this invitation, and two, the fact that they made this choice to be Roberto's right-hand man because they need to get close to the Castellanters. I think with Volo there, staying with Rainier and serenading him with some lovely stories, Riv is going to make their way to follow through on that introduction to the Castellanters before whatever happens later today happens, because they may or may not have a mansion to help infiltrate, and who knows what else they might need to do.
A whole long to-do list. Okay. So you head over to Castellanter's villa. The invitation, of course, directs you to a very nice, cozy villa in the Seaward, kind of up on a hill with a very, very nice view of the harbor, almost picturesque. As you're approaching the villa, there's a nice big old wall, nice tall, towering iron gate with guards around. And if you'd like, go ahead and make a just quick perception check. You're more than welcome to do
I
so.
always love to make a quick perception check. What is my perception? Okay, it's not terrible. That is a 21.
Okay. As you approach, the gate, you've seen guards at most like noble estates and nice houses. These are a little different. First thing you notice is that most guards will have some sort of house uniform with the kind of noble crest on their shoulder or on their collar, or maybe like somewhere kind of embroidered on like the chest of their shirt somewhere. They don't have these. Instead, there's a emblem that you probably recognize. And let me pull it up. What you see is actually a bad-shaped emblem with a palm on it and a red crescent moon in the background. And you've been around the city long enough to know that that is the emblem of Horse Grey. And they are for lack of better words, mercenary adventure guild. They frequently contract with the city, basically to have open-ended contracts saying, yeah, sure, your adventurers do whatever, but if we need help, we're calling you, and in exchange, we're paying you a monthly stipend for that like intended support. But they do contract out to other people who can afford them. This seems to be one of those cases. And they are very crisp, professional, and very alert, but not overly aggressive as you come walking up to the gate. And of course, one of the guards, a very tall, very clean-cut looking like half-orc, kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, morning, sir.
Morning.
How can I help you?"
And Riv extends the invitation that they have been sent and says, I am here to speak to the Castellanthers on behalf of Roberto. I am a part of the Performers, Playwrights, and Prop Makers Guild.
Takes the invitation, looks it over, moves out, takes a step over towards like a small little guard shack next to the gate, and holds it under a little outlet with arcane symbols. Just kind of turns it over, looks at it, kind of nods, seeming satisfied, hands it back, and says, "Of course. Well, follow me. I'll escort you up to the house."
Thank you. I appreciate it. I see there are quite a few of you on duty today, and I would not want to accidentally become lost and enter somewhere where I shouldn't.
You know, we wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. You know, you are in our care at this point. So, please, this way. And they walk you through the gate up a kind of winding path through some nice topiaries and a very nicely kept yard up to the main house.
I don't like how much Andy's looking at his notes.
I know. I'm like,
It's
oh,
not great.
you're in danger.
No, you just got to make sure when you're describing things, you get them right the first time.
Mhm.
Because you don't want to create narrative incontinuity, you know. It's one of those things. But you're brought inside. Again, passing a few more guards on the way. You just nod to this lead guard, and all of them give you either respectful nods or some of them even kind of like do these crisp, probably awkward to you, but like crisp, formal, like half bows. And you are brought inside to kind of a nice little entrance hall, right? It's just beautifully designed. The theme in this place tends to be white mahogany with red accents, as it's just large open entrance hall, and you're walked inside. Dozens of chandeliers cover this area to give you an idea of how large it is. And the guard says, this way. Kind of takes you into the left into a small sitting room. And there it is. It says, okay, go ahead, have a seat. The Lady and Lord Castellaneta will be down in a moment.
Thank you. I appreciate the hospitality that I have been shown.
Of course. I will hand you off to Seamus here. He will make sure you're situated. And a very old but stern-looking gentleman in a suit comes striding up, says, can I get you anything? Tea, coffee, wine?
Tea would be lovely. Thank you.
Of course. Wait here. And they both proceed to leave. So you're left in this sitting room kind of by yourself. Looking around the walls, there's bookshelves in here that are like neatly arrayed. There's some nice conversational talking pieces on the different tables. And there's a couple portraits where you see kind of a younger looking Victorio Castellanter, you think, with an older gentleman. Could be, like an older uncle or father. There's a wedding portrait of what looks like younger Victorio and Amalia on the wall. The two of them just beaming with like excitement and joy. And another portrait you see with Victorio, Amalia, and 3 children. 2 of them probably around the age of 10, and the third one maybe in their awkward teenage years. What do you do to pass the time? Because you're just sitting there listening to like the ticking of this rather ostentatious grandfather clock in the background.
Riv, starts by looking over those conversation starters, spread out just so they can keep that in mind as this meeting or whatever this is commences.
There's a book of like Waterdeep poetry on the table. There's a history of exotic animals. There's a few other just like small, you could call them like eye catch pieces about like history of Neverwinter, like the Far Plains. The Far Plains wouldn't be on there. That's me messing up. Mysteries of the Sword Coast, that kind of thing. Right. Littered around, but they're very neatly organized to draw your attention.
Riv would start there and at least do a cursory glance just to take that in, but then I think they would move to look at the different portraits, on the walls and just take a bit of time scanning the room and seeing what else is in there.
Okay. Yeah, walk around looking at the portraits, enjoying the scenery. There's a window in this room you can kind of see out to like kind of the side yard. You actually see 2 kids out there playing. They seem to have a ball and they're just like throwing it around, running and like giggling to each other. And then from behind you, you just hear Seamus, tea. Didn't make a sound when he walked in. Just tea, and sets down tea, marmalade, jam, some toast, a bunch of different sides, and all complete with a little tiny flour in water.
What type of flower, Andy? What type of flower is in the water?
There's a black rose.
It's fine. Riv, of course, thanks Seamus for bringing them the tea and food to nibble on, and takes a seat and takes a very long time to make their tea. A lot of adding a little bit of sugar, a little bit of milk, and passing some time that way.
Seamus moves over towards the side of the wall and just stands there. Let me know if you require anything else.
Of course. Thank you, Seamus. Have you worked here long?
My whole life.
Really? Were you born here?
Oh, my family's worked for the Castellanters for decades. Wonderful people.
That says a lot when a family retains help for so long.
Indeed.
And Riv just starts to look at the book of poetry.
just just flipping through the book.
Yep.
Still staring at me. You flip through the book for a little bit. It's just nice poetry. You've probably seen some of this before, honestly, in the art circles. It's a collection of just different pieces around Waterdeep from various poets and singers. And after a few more moments of just kind of awkwardly waiting to see what happens, you hear a noise, and a gentleman in a nice crimson and gold accented outfit with kind of short hair and a nice goatee comes walking into the room, and you recognize him from those portraits. About a little older, but Victoria Castellanter comes striding in, and he gives you a beaming smile, strides across the room, and extends a hand and says, "Welcome."
Riv, the moment they heard those footsteps and saw him enter the room, stood and actually bowed to him respectfully.
He pauses when you do that, and kind of nods in approval. Good morning. I'm Victoria Castellanter. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well, Lord Castellanter. I am Riv. I'm here on behalf of Roberto.
Yes, I received the letter. I'm so very excited for the two of us to be working together. After all, it's amazing to see what great minds can accomplish with the art community these days.
Yes, and Roberto is truly, truly a visionary. I have never worked with a director such as him.
One of the best. I was nearly moved to tears by his play. Pity what happened to the theater, though.
Yes, it was a pity after such strong and impressive opening night.
We are certainly doing everything within our power, and I know other nobles in the community are doing the same to ensure that the Eclipse Theater is opened as quickly as possible. Although I do hope your cast is still there. Actors out of work at all, can be a problem. They tend to be a fickle bunch. But I digress. Riv, I think you are the person that's going to help, well, help bring back the Eclipse Theater into its full glory.
It would truly be my honor and privilege to be able to do that, Lord Castellanter, and be a part of that. I must ask, if it is not too forward of me, what is your image for the Eclipse Theater?
Great questions off the bat. First, did you get enough tea? Right, is there anything else we can get you?
And the tea is wholly untouched. They have not had a sip of it. They have just spent this last 30 minutes or however long it's been carefully doctoring it with a mixture of creamer and sugar. But despite this, they say, "Oh no, I am fine. I have not even had an opportunity to enjoy my first cup."
Oh. Well, please don't hold off on account of me. I would not think it rude. I would be more insulted if you didn't indulge. But that said, my plan is I think, a simple one, really. We get the Eclipse Theater back open. Hopefully, Amleth can go back to its run. But if there is some time in between, Amelie and I had been talking about potentially some fill-in material while you all had time to reset and bring all of your actors back into the fold.
That sounds like a wonderful idea so that the theater is not kept dark for too long. It would be lovely to be able to turn off the ghost light, even if it isn't to bring back the incredible performance that had just started.
Of course. And I do actually, to correct myself, calling it fill-in material is actually insulting to the material itself. It's a delightful play out of Neverwinter, and I think it would do quite well, at least for a short, limited run.
Which play would you want to have put on the stage?
It's a complex work about the psychology of mortals and the ethical challenges we face in a world where passions, wants, and desires conflict with the gritty realities of our very nature. It's called The Devilish Deceit. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Now that you say that title, does sound that does sound familiar. I Perhaps it was Roberto who mentioned it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. He has such impeccable taste.
He does know art, and that is truly a piece of, well, majesty.
It sounds remarkable and powerful. I hope this also is not too forward of me, Lord Castellanter. I I was curious. You had said, this piece could be performed while we are having everything back to the production quality that it would need to be to return to Amleth. How many performers does this play, The Devilish Deceit, involve?
It's the brilliant part. Only 3. Minimal stage. Performers will play a few different roles, but the consistency of the actor is actually part of what makes it interesting, to examine the different stages of their psychology or their lives. And I'm
And
great friends with the theater director in Neverwinter. We could easily have a cast here. To be honest, I kind of owe him a favor, and I think that would even that out.
and Riv throughout this has been like raising the teacup and then becoming so engrossed in what Lord Castellanter is saying that they just put it back down again and just kind of have repeated that a few times as they are hanging on every word.
Make a perception check.
I would love to. I would hate to. That is that is a 7.
It's a 7?
Oh no.
Where's my other book?
Why do you need another book?
Where did I put it? Is it over here?
A 7. Let me grab the other book.
We
gotta-
won't
you're
know
in
why it's another book.
There's all sorts of
can't
good
s-
books to have.
We can't spot it. Our perception is too low.
Yeah, you don't see
We
it.
can't know why.
So,
You're in danger.
yeah. So, like I said, I kind of know I'm a favorite. I think this would be the best way to call that one even. So that's where you come in, Riv. Obviously, Roberto is doing wonders keeping the theater repairs on track, but he can be a little stubborn when it comes to changing theatrical direction at times. And I respect his art and I respect his commitment to both his plays and his actors, but I want to give him the time to truly ensure that he is ready. I think someone close to him could perhaps help him see reason in, call it a palate cleanser, if you will, for getting the theater back and making sure we contribute to the art community. And when Hamlet is ready to Hamlet, excuse me, is ready to be released again, it is the best possible version of itself.
You certainly speak with tremendous thought and logic, Lord Castellanter. I think were I to approach Roberto with this, it would be important for me to know what length of time you would want this palate cleanser to have space to be performed in. Would we be talking weeks, months, years?
No, nothing of the sort. I wouldn't want to take his his canvas for that long. 3 nights. Call it a limited
3
run.
actors, 3 nights,
3 acts.
and 3 acts.
Call it a limited run. It helps build the enthusiasm, and more importantly, we'll put the Eclipse Theater back in the papers. The reopening is something someone may miss, but a limited run of a well-renowned piece, that will put the theater back in the public eye. And after the fervor has risen to a point of near explosion, well, then Amleth returns. All eyes already on this gem.
I do not say this with any surprise, Lord Castellanter, but I cannot find any fault in this proposal. It makes perfect sense.
He smiles at the little bit of flattery and says, banking wasn't my first passion, but it was the one that the family appreciated the most. I have a very soft spot for theater myself. There we go. What time is he being stupid? But yeah. So, and he just says, so, can I count on you?
It would be my honor to be the liaison between you and Roberto.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got ahead of myself. I should have mentioned, this is a paid position as well. I wouldn't ask you to do all this work to not compensate you. But I do admire your enthusiasm. But for you to run around and help us out and put in all these hours, we'd certainly be willing to compensate you for that.
That is very generous and appreciated, Lord Castellanter. I think that does bring me to a question I had wanted to ask, which is, you spoke of me being that liaison between you and Roberto and helping to help allow him to see the magnitude of your vision and the rationale behind that vision. What other duties would you have for me? I never had a chance to talk to Hazel before, well, what happened happened.
You're welcome to roll inside. So he says, yeah, Hazel, terrible, terrible situation there.
That was a nat 20.
Cool. I'm gonna tell you what he says, and I'm gonna give you some little details. This is a Hazel, terrible situation there. We thought we'd found a perfect liaison, and she was, brilliant, adaptive, punctual, hard to find. And then she just ups and disappears. Well, you think you know people, right? Now, Hazel's main role was to do the same thing that I'm asking you to do now: help Roberto carry the burden of his genius and channel it in the right direction so he's not having to drag it with him. Genius should be enabled. As he's talking, though, he's very animated, but he does make a lot of very direct eye contact. When he mentions Hazel, that kind of breaks away a little bit before he reestablishes that very direct eye contact with you. And said a nat 20. Ensure this best possible outcome. He does seem incredibly sincere that this will only be a short endeavor. Which also leads you to kind of ask the question in your head of, what are they getting out of it other than sponsoring the arts? Which is a noble pastime, to be fair, but you've seen from the news that Castellanters are bankers. They don't do things that don't make them money. It's a thought that pops into your head.
Riv will remember that, and we'll hold on to that for the time being. Lord Castellanter, with regard to Hazel, I suppose you likely are much more informed than I am, but I know that I personally am very concerned about her. The police were involved in looking into her disappearance, and I know that I have not heard anything to the effect of this being a voluntary reason for leaving. I've been very concerned that something bad happened to her with all of the crime in the city and everything else.
Of course. I'm honestly glad to hear the watch is doing something with it. We did submit a missing persons report after she didn't show up for a few days. It was a matter of grave concern to both Amalia and I as well. Hopefully she turns up.
I truly hope she does, and I hope that Hazel did something very un-Hazel-like and took a surprise vacation or something like that, though I worry. She was truly the backbone of the Eclipse Theater. Those are big shoes to be stepping into.
I believe you. And he kind of leans forward in his chair just a little bit and making incredibly unblinking direct eye contact says, I want to see this through. Together.
I do as well, Lord Castellanter. I did want to ask because I want to make sure I am the most efficient that I can possibly be, especially being compensated for my time and energy. Would you, by any chance, have the steps that Hazel had already taken noted anywhere? Any of her records or anything like that? Just so I make certain as we're moving forward with this production, because I have no doubt Roberta will see the brilliance of this. I want to make sure I do not duplicate any work unnecessarily.
Of course, very, very wise of you. Seamus, go get the records and one of the, yeah, on the small drawer on the left. Grab one of those as well. And Seamus goes, well, sir, and slinks out.
Well, as we have a moment, Lord Castellanter, I did want to ask, how were you introduced to the devilish deceit?
Seldom Neverwinter myself. Delightful play. Honestly, made me question a lot of things. The best part about art is the lingering effect it has on the psyche. It truly just, well, it makes you truly think about the world and your place in it. Anything that lingers like that and truly stokes the fires of the mind, I think it's worth sharing. Tell me, what do you believe your place is in all of this? Kind of just broadly gestures.
In the city, in the world?
In a world filled with gods, magic, where anyone can rise to greatness, what do you feel your role is in this world? What do you hope to achieve?
Well, I think it is best that each person understands their place, that we cannot all be gods or lords or bankers. Some of us are needed to bridge those gaps, and that is what I see my place in. I see my place as connecting one person to another, a place to the community, one generation to the next.
Hmm.
That is what I see my place as making certain those connections stand and allow for the world to be built in the way that will benefit the most people.
I feel that you and I are going to get along very well. And Seamus kind of slinks back in with a small stack of papers and a book and a small pouch. And Lord Castellanter looks at him and says, Riv, you speak of connections and bringing people together, and like just these things all make me very happy. And this may sound odd, but follow me. Do you play cards?
I cannot say I am incredibly skilled at cards, though I have been known to play a couple of hands with
Hmm.
my roommates.
Some of the best business deals happen at the card table. If it ever catches your fancy, please come to my casino. We have a Three Dragon Ante tournament. I think you'd be a very good fit.
I appreciate that, Lord Castellanter. If I find myself having the urge to play a couple of hands of cards, I will certainly be there.
He gives Seamus a wave. He comes over and he hands you like a small stack of note pages, and we can see a bunch of just writing on it. Right, it looks like notes, dates, times, like that kind of stuff. It's about 10 pages. There's a copy of a script, which, as you look at the first page, is the script for the Devilish Deceit. And there's a small pouch that kind of clinks as it's set down in front of you and says, "Please, you can open it. It won't offend me any." Hold a first contract fee.
Riv will open the pouch.
Inside the pouch is 50 gold. And among those gold coins, you count a 51st coin. That is a strange kind of onyx black with a odd insignia on it that you don't quite recognize. On one side, as you flip it over, the other side says Afterlife Casino, VIP, admit one.
This is incredibly generous, Lord Castellanter.
I hope to see you there.
I would love to have the opportunity of paying a visit.
I think there's a moment of kind of silence as the conversation kind of tapers off. And he smiles again and says, well, thank you for your time. I know that you're an incredibly busy person, so I deeply appreciate you working me into your schedule.
Of course, it is incredible to be here and to have this opportunity to help support and craft the incredible art scene of this town.
We're going to shape the future of Waterdeep together. It's going to be beautiful. Art inspires. Please, when you have updates, no need for a formal appointment. Just let Seamus know you're on your way. Seamus just kind of sighs.
Understood, Lord Castellanter.
This project is very dear to my heart. I will be more than happy to assist any way I can. But please, don't let me ramble on. Enjoy the rest of your day. You have work to do.
I will be in touch as soon as possible. And I promise you, Lord Castellanter, I will get results.
I like that. It's good to hear. And he stands, gives you a polite nod, and walks out of the room. And Seamus just says, follow me, please. And walks you back out through the gate as they close behind you. You notice two things as you walk out of the gate. One, I'm assuming B and Lavinia have been trying to get a hold of Rev.
As
Through
I was gonna say, as long as we've been released by the Black Staff, yeah, probably, because I don't think either of us were pinging that shit while that man was nearby.
That makes sense. Riv, as you walk out the gate, a like half message catches in your brain of B and Lavinia trying to get your attention, as if it was like cut off somehow. So you finally left.
As soon as possible. Whenever you can. Whenever you. God, just.
They probably just took a nap. I mean, this happened the other night when Brindle fell asleep. So
yeah, I know.
it's early. They probably went back to bed.
Well, I know they're an actor, but come on.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. Yeah. We need Rainier. We need Rainier's body at the Blackstaff Academy as soon as humanly possible, preferably within the next half hour at this point. We're pretty sure we can do it. We're pretty sure we can find where he is and get him back. The Blackstaff is going to do it, and we're going to help, and you need to be there too because you're going to be the anchor. B begins babbling what that means thaumaturgically. It makes you basically are able to grasp that you're important to make the magic work.
B tries to explain why it doesn't make any sense.
Well, if that is what you all think, I will be there. I will get Renair there, and I will be there.
And Riv, as you take off towards Paramore Mansion, there is I need to let you guys know this out of character, right? This is a admin meta thing. So the Zephyr post is a very helpful way for me to give you guys information, right? For stuff I'm like giving to you to make life easier, it is not like something that could be potentially tracked or intercepted. If you're using it, it's the potential for that. Does that make sense? Because I'm trying to give you stuff that otherwise to keep you from like running around the city chasing people down.
So for okay.
That makes sense.
I don't remember what the Zephyr post was.
The Zephyr post is a bunch of very helpful trained birds that deliver messages throughout the city.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm making you aware of there are risks involved in sending things via bird mail.
As true with real life sending bird mail.
Yes.
It's true.
But I'm trying to minimize the fuckery so I can just also give you things. If you send important stuff via bird mail, it could potentially cause problems. But Riv, a bird swoops down a couple blocks away from the castle enter's place and kind of squawks to get your attention with a little rolled up scroll in its leg.
And Riv accepts this and goes to take that.
Okay.
I've decided that all of these birds are seagulls. So when it squawks,
that was what was in my mind too.
It's a harbor city. They're 100% all seagulls.
No pigeons? No pigeons for me?
They're seagulls and
pigeon.
pigeons. And pigeons. The pigeon's in charge.
Yes.
We all fight over who gets to hold the pigeon.
Yeah.
Cool. You get
I can't believe you've never held a pigeon, Julia.
They know I want it too bad, and they see me coming, and they're like, fuck no.
They are free on the streets. You can just grab them.
I have tried. You say that like I have not tried. I just get too excited, and they can sense me coming.
You got to have the right aura.
Riv, you grab the note off the majestic seagull that squawks and flies away. There you go. That's for you. You're welcome to read that out loud or not.
Interesting. I'll hold on to that for the moment.
Okay.
Secrets.
And you head off to retrieve Rainier. Brindle.
Yes, hello, hi.
The door to this underground safe house has been slammed shut and locked. You saw strange flashing devices that were put on either side of it. You
did mention that, and they concern me.
You are sitting down there with Walter. Excuse me. Let me pull my other notes real quick. Great notes.
Walter and who else?
It is Walter, Arlette, the looks like an elf, very pale skin, long flowing dark hair, straight black eyes. And Tallow, the white-haired, reptilian, yellow-eyed, kind of reptile-esque looking individual, the one who was humming these strange tunes during the last fight. And of course, they look a little beat up. And of course, Walter himself, who is still wearing the scars and bruises from last night, but has changed into a less, how should I put this, on fire suit. That scorching ray kind of wrecked him. Or was it guiding bolt? It was a guiding bolt.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Had kind of ruined his
Two
other
of them,
suits.
actually.
And he, of course, as you walk in, cocks pistol and says, I want to know what the fuck happened yesterday. I want to know right now.
And, Hagen is there, right? And is there anybody like guarding the door? Are there?
Arlette has locked the door.
Okay.
But she isn't quite in the way of it, but is close enough to die for an intercept. Italo is standing off to the right of Walter, and of course, you and Hagen. And he says, Brindle, I can't help but have these thoughts. He kind of like scratches his head with the side of the pistol. First major job that we bring you on, and the cops show up? Maybe bad luck or something? How do you explain that?
I mean, wait, what? That was an entire surprise to me.
Me too. And I don't like surprises.
Yeah, I don't like surprises either. That was everything seemed pretty clear. There were like a few of there was that guy you were looking for was there. He only had a few people. It seemed like a great time to let you know when to come in. Everything was going well. I feel like that was going to be a cut and dry scenario. It was going to be great. I don't know what happened there really. Like suddenly the cops came out of nowhere. Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm as flustered about this as you are.
He kind of sits there for a second, and his gaze shifts to Hagen. He just stares at him. So here's the default of what we're going to do, right? I'm going to ask you for 3 either persuasion or deception checks throughout this conversation. There are other things that may come into play with the other characters that are here, but the real key part is you want to win at least 2 out of 3 of these. 3 out of 3 is best. 1 or 0 out of 3 is not good. All right. So, of course, other items you have and other things like that, you're welcome to use. The NPCs may also do things, right? So is there anything...
these two cronies that are with him, these 2 lieutenants, those were pretty high level like casters when they came barreling through, just annihilating people, right? As much as I could see or not see at the time. I don't know. I heard a lot of stuff going on, but
the snake dude,
most of it,
Italo used a bunch of mind magic on people and hypnosis. The Arlette, the dark-haired scary girl, used a lot of necrotic magic.
Yeah, these are scary people. So Brindle's sporting this fancy new hat, and I don't think this is the right time to just try it out for the first time. So there's a lot of high stakes going on here.
The detect thoughts passive does not require a check.
That's
Just
true.
FYI.
That is true. And I will use that because it is passive, and oh man, I'd like to, I guess I'd like to get an idea. I'd like to get an idea of where what's Walter at? Like I'm pretty sure I can read this guy just on the face of it, but what's just in case there's more going on there, what's his surface thoughts? What's going on?
First thing you get from him is there is just anger on a level that you haven't felt, and it almost like staggers you emotionally to feel it. This man is a white hot ball of rage and is looking for an excuse to take it out on anything. But go ahead and roll me an insight check to kind of sort through this blast of anger to see if you can get a little more.
Yeah, I will do that. Definitely want to do an inside check on Walter for sure.
Okay.
So total, that is a... Oh, wait, insight. I'm not as good on that one. Hold on. 14 on insight.
In the same way that anger wants to go somewhere, he's looking for a target. And right now, you're the easiest one.
Oh yeah. Now I'm the least vetted. I'm the one that I've screwed up many things in the past. In fact, due to Brindle's hesitance to actually do violent things. Oh my, yeah. So no, I realize that I am going to be the focus of this unless I can figure out how to direct it somewhere else.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And so he kind of leans back and stares at you and just says, "Oh, you say you don't know. You don't know how. Let's start with this. Why don't you walk me through your day yesterday?"
Look, Walter, I would love to walk you through my day. A lot happened yesterday, so I'm not entirely sure everything that I did do yesterday. I went after we met. I went down into the sewers. I followed a couple of the lackeys of this Arlen guy. Found my way through, like, they had a secret door there. I followed them through a secret door. Like kept quiet. Once we were in there, found this Arlen guy. He said he seemed like he had the thing you were looking for, and then that's when I notified you. Now the thing is, like, nobody was there when I was there. The City Watch didn't show up until after I contacted you and let you know where I was. So this was not me. Like, if somebody betrayed you, and nobody's saying that anybody in this room betrayed you, it easily could have been somebody who found out where all this was happening after I contacted you. They were certainly not there when I got there.
So you think this is... Oh, one other mechanic I forgot to add. On one of those 3 checks, you can have Hagen help you add advantage as you go back the story, provided it won't put him in a corner.
Sure. Right now, Hagen would not be anywhere in this this part of the story, so that's fine.
Says that's interesting. So, what, you think it was bad luck? Let me ask you this.
No, I don't. No. I don't think it was bad luck. No, that just couldn't have been bad luck. It was too strategic. Obviously, they planned on showing up there. It wasn't bad luck. What I'm saying is, like, nobody showed up until after I notified you where we were going to be. So, like, sometime between me saying where everything was and you letting everybody else know, suddenly the City Watch shows up there. And they didn't show up until after you showed up, right? So, like, that also could have been one of Arlen's men. I don't, like, this there's too many people involved here. It was not me. I would not do this to you. I don't, like, this is... I was scared out of my mind trying to leave there. Everybody was after me. I certainly was not their ally.
All right. Throw me a persuade or deception, your choice.
The first persuade on this one, because I don't think I've actually said anything deceptive so far.
No lies so far. The first DC is a 16.
Okay. That is a 22.
Okay. He sits and listens to this explanation.
Brindle's pretty persuasive. He's a pretty persuasive guy. This is kind of his wheelhouse.
It says,
hopefully
all right,
this goes well.
Help me out then, smart guy. Where do you think the information's coming from?
That's a great question.
You think
I mean,
Arlen?
like I
you think
said,
Arlen
there's
called
a
the cops?
whole. No, I don't think Arlen did.
No,
But
he's.
I think Arlen's men easily could have been compromised. That's entirely possible. I mean, think about it. He doesn't have a well-run organization like the Zentarum, like you do, Walter. Like it's just there's a whole bunch of people there. They're like cobbled together. They're kind of zealots. Like I don't know. He's a zealot. They're just kind of there. I don't know. What if they had a deal? What if they had a deal such that, like, when something went wrong, suddenly the City Watch would show up, and then, you know, and what if it was a surprise? I didn't even know it was going to be you. I mean, I have to say,
you think that
the City
Arlen
Watch did not look like they were really prepared to take you on.
You think that Arlen, with his trail of bodies and who knows how many crimes, somehow got the City Watch on his side?
No, Arlen? No. I'm saying one of his men was probably compromised. There are a lot of them there. They're not a zealot like Arlen is. They're not all in. And they don't have the adhesion, the same, like, group that you have with everybody in this room. That's just not. I don't think that there's any other possibility other than one of Arlen's people is compromised. Tell you what, everybody there was trying to kill me. If I was an ally with anybody there, I don't know who it was, other than, like, well, I couldn't even escape because of this guy over here. I point to what's his face who put the ward on the what was his name again?
Talking about Ialto?
Yeah, sorry.
That guy?
The snake guy. Ialton. And it's fine if Brindle couldn't remember his name either. They've never been introduced. So.
Walter keeps his focus on you. He stands up. Says, interesting theory. So you think we're dealing with a rat somewhere in Arlen's group?
What I'm saying is, with the numbers in front of us, that is the most likely scenario. That's all I could think of.
It's definitely a rat somewhere. And he gives Arlette a nod. And you feel a strange sensation that you felt before. Please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Use one of our advantages, please. I am begging.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
This is a charisma saving throw.
Oh, this is a charisma saving throw.
Yes.
All right, I'm still doing advantage though.
That's a 9.
I almost rolled onto a. Hold on. But with the saving throw and charisma, I do have a. That was a 13.
That is a fail.
Hold on. We get 2 rolls.
Mm-hmm. Nat 20!
Nat 20!
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
Eat it, Snake Man.
Very nice. Fuck yeah. And so you feel a very familiar effect kind of wash over you. The same thing you felt in the Temple of Tyr. As Brindle would recognize that a Zone of Truth spell was cast from Arlette, who does not try to hide it. Her dark eyes like take on a strange purple sheen, and the spell kind of goes over you. You were not affected.
Oh, but
And so Walter says, so who exactly is the rat? From your opinion.
My opinion, Walter, that's my opinion. I just told you my opinion. I think it has to be one of Arlen's people. Like that's what the numbers, that seem to be. Like it's what's in front of us is that, like, I was there, I was doing my job. You've got a tight-knit organization. They don't. And suddenly the City Watch shows up when things are happening. I think one of them was compromised. I don't know what else to tell you.
He looks over at Arlette, who gives him like a slight nod. Go ahead and make another persuade, please. This one, the DC is 17 for this one. He's not rolling at advantage because so far your story is making sense.
I do not pass that persuasion check.
Okay.
It was a 12.
So he seems kind of takes on a little more of a. He's kind of squares up to you and takes a step forward and is like, now, if you were me, and
Well, clearly not you, Walter.
shut up. If you were me, and given this greenhorn, right, to help out, but they're families, so they're gonna get a few extra chances.
I messed up a bunch of those, yeah.
First time you decide to put them out in the field, everything just goes to shit. Some of your people end up in jail. Some of your people
ended up in jail?
get hurt.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see anything.
Now, you notice a few people are missing tonight. You didn't know?
I didn't know. On the other hand, like, they could be doing something else for you. Maybe you didn't need them here. I don't know. I don't know. Although, have you considered that the ones that were taken could easily be the ones actually working with the watch?
So if you were me, you think the loyal people that I've had around me for years.
Oh, no.
One of them could be a.
I don't know. I would suspect the first person. I would suspect the person that you just put out there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying it's not true. But yeah, no, absolutely.
How'd you get out?
Ran through the tunnels.
What happened after that?
After that, well, finally had a good sleep for the first time in quite a while, I feel. And then I went and got some coffee, and then met up with Hagen, who showed me how to get here.
Hagen nods.
Yeah. That was about it. Hagen contacted you. We made it out. We ran through the tunnels trying to get out. Hagen helped me out. Never would have made it without him. He contacted you afterwards, asked if we should be there last night or today. You said today. I got some good sleep.
Who else did you talk to last night?
Who else did I talk to?
Who else? Think real hard.
I mean, I don't have to think hard. I talked with Hagen last night. He was there with me, each step of the way. So, well, and I went back home to sleep. I didn't talk to anybody when I went home to sleep. So,
all right, give me one more persuade or deception. The DC for this is 14.
Where are our advantage?
I was gonna say, can Hagen help on this one?
Oh yeah,
Hagen can give you advantage.
You called Hagen out on this one.
That's right. That's right. There
Hagen will specifically say, like,
I was going to take
boss,
advantage from one pool or another, so.
hey, boss, I can vouch for that. And confirms everything you said.
First roll. We're going for 14?
Yep.
That
I believe that puts you
is
at 13
a
again.
17
The 17.
for persuasion.
Wow.
A very dirty 17. I'll do the second roll just to
Yeah,
see
it might
what
be
we
an
do.
20. It's a
Oh.
4. He holsters the pistol and says,
and I'm hoping that Brindle being overly truthful about everything does lend some credence to the fact that he's under a spell right now, admitting to the fact that he's done terribly as a a greenhorn in the past, etc., etc.
and he breaks out into kind of he might call it a smile. Some people would call it like baring his teeth. And he says, all right. Okay. Well, glad you made it out in one piece.
Oh, so am I, Walter. Oh my gosh, that was harrowing. I think is the right word for this. And were you ever able to get the thing from Arlen that you wanted?
No.
That's City Watch. What a bunch of jerks.
That's okay. You know, we fumbled this one. Well, not exactly happy about it, but we're going to kind of tie up some loose ends on this. Because you brought up a good point. You know, we'll have somebody take care of Arlen's people, but we have to get our people back. Because either
Walter, anything I can do to make up for this, anything I could do, anything that I could do to help you out, you know, I feel I had nothing to do with it, but I feel so bad that it went so far sideways when I was the one that went scouting ahead, you know. I just
now that you mention it, there is something you can do.
Oh yeah?
How good are you at driving?
Can I get another read on Walter's thoughts? Surface level right
absolutely. He's still very angry, but it has toned down a little bit. You're hearing just these very sporadic desires to harm something or someone. And Brindle, your name is still in that equation, but it seems a little lower than previously. It wasn't in big, bold italics. It's no longer in big, bold italics like it was before. But you can see he's actually starting to think about both Freya and Luther, right? The sorceress and the assassin that he had with him. And a whole like collage of pictures come up. Everything from pulling them back in to the fold to images of them very dead in a ditch.
Other people dead in ditches. I like that. I like not being the only one.
He says, how are you driving?
Driving what? Brindle asks, having never driven a thing in his life.
City Watch is going to have to transport our people. They're not going to make it to the Castle Wood. We're going to spring them. We're going to make this right.
All right. Animals do not hate me. If there are horses involved.
We're going with something a little more reliable.
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever you need me to do, I can do it.
Good.
Very quick learner.
And he gives you like one last real hard stare and smiles and says, "See, that's the mentality of a professional right there."
Oh, just make sure we're on the same page, Walter. If Geraldine asks me anything about this, what should I tell her?
Well, it's my business to run what happens down in the streets, and it's her business to run what happens down in the boardrooms. So, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to say.
Okay. All right. When wow, yeah, okay. So gonna spring them out, huh? When do you want to do this?
He looks at Hagen and just says, "Be in contact."
Yep. Okay. I think Brenda will stand up and start kind of backing kind of toward the door while kind of like not quite shaking hands, not quite waving, very awkwardly heading toward the door to leave. Well, I'm sure you have a lot to do, Walter. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Unless you need me here.
He thinks about it for a long minute. And you can still, and even with that, like those minor thoughts, there's a few images of like you going face first into a wall or him unloading his firearm into you. And those kind of just wisp away.
I hold back the impulse to like tense up and go to like try and fade through a wall. Like, yeah, the thoughts of him just firing his gun at me as I'm standing right there.
And he finally says, after a very long, tense pause, "Stay close. When I get information about when the watch is moving these guys, you need to be ready." And Brindle, I think it's important that in this job, you learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, they get you killed. You understand?
Yes. Next time I will do my best not to become blinded and unable to escape the room and let you know ahead of time that something might be happening if I knew what it was. Yes, absolutely, Walter. I will do better next time.
Good. Get out of here. And you see Arlette waves something over the little beeping mechanisms, and they stop beeping and unlocks the door. She gives you just a blank-eyed, hollow stare as you leave.
I think Brenda will mutter on his way out a little loudly. That was weird. That is oddly truthful back there. And then he walks out the door.
As the door is closing, you see like Hagen kind of unzipping a large black bag full of like heavy equipment that he brought with him, and Walter going, "All right, for this, we're gonna need some firepower." And the door closes.
What could possibly go wrong?
But he did not kill you. 2 out of 3 successes.
That was yeah.
He certainly thought about it multiple times in that conversation.
kind of think I should use an advantage for that second roll as well, but I was hoping to lean against the whole like zone of truth thing, you know.
I was like desperately trying to beam the names Tanis and Quincy back into your head so you could have given him a name.
Ooh.
Because they're out of the city.
Perfect.
They're gone.
I wish I thought of that. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Well, now we can just rescue the other people and see if they're rats.
I had that all set up too. Tanis and Quincy would have been perfect. Ah. Well, oh well.
Tried to... Psychic beaming didn't work through the computer.
It's in Arlen's tree. It's like, oh man, it's got to be somebody there. And then we have two of them that were captured by the City Watch. Oh well.
By us. It wasn't even the Watch. It was us.
Eventually, you know, whatever. You're part of the City Watch. It wouldn't have been a lie. You know,
that's true.
Et cetera, et cetera.
It's true. That was well done. Dodging the zone of truth was really a make or break moment.
That would have been brutal. That would have potentially been the end of Brindle. So I am glad we passed that one. I don't want to. If I were in that zone of truth, I might have been able to walk around certain things, but like if he had asked the right question, everything would have gone sideways.
The cool thing about that spell is that if you make the saving throw, like the person casting it does not know if you pass or fail.
Yeah, that was key.
That is so damn important in that spell.
I think that's the second time Brindle's done that, because I think you did that with Hagen too, when right before Lavinia and Advent came in.
I am very lucky. I'm very lucky that it's a charisma saving throw.
He got hit at the Church of Tyr with one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We all did. I forgot that was just kind of an everything.
And I forgot actually this time that I have I actually have resistance against that with being a half elf and such too, right?
It is not a charm.
Oh, it's not a charm. You're right. It's charm and sleep magic. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It was something else that was useful for previously. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Three times.
3 for 3. And that Brindle Spindle's going hard.
Now Brindle has never fallen to a zone of truth. So
now instead of getting killed by your uncle, you're doing a potentially high speed breakout.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you end up playing into things that you don't want to be a part of to not get shot. So
yeah, I'm sure that's all good.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
So that's just
and now I get to apparently tell the City Watch all about it. So that's
Lavinia, you're not going to believe this shit.
You know, the great thing about having somebody from the City Watch as part of a psychic link is that I can never be tracked necessarily meeting up with you if I don't have to, or if I don't want to. I can always report to the City Watch and be done with it without ever having to meet them somewhere clandestine style.
I'm excited for the second time.
Thank you.
Except for when we meet clandestinely to do crime together.
Well, sure, yeah, but I mean, we always cover our tracks with that one, right? How many levels of duplicity can we go through? So.
Yes, this is the levels of like, oh yeah, like I'm lying to you, but I'm being truthful to you. Except I'm not being truthful to you. I'm lying to you, and then just the tears, and then like I don't know.
Fine.
Is Sergio even telling you the truth? Who the fuck knows?
Brindle's interactions with people is like this jigsaw puzzle of truth and deception. So
it makes me so happy.
All right, not dead. Love it. And didn't give anything pertinent away to Walter about anything that we're doing. So I'm very happy about that.
The chat is diming you out on how Zone of Truth actually works, which is interesting.
Oh.
But no, I've not been playing that. And the reason is because every time I throw a Zone of Truth, the stakes are so damn high that if a person passes, that is a success, as opposed to if they pass the saving throw, that is a success. And having the person know that they passed would still trigger a whole bunch of other negative effects. And I'm giving you the shot of like, hey, this is kind of a save or suck role of like pass and be good, or fail and have problems. But passing and having problems is still not less fun. Because one of those hits, it's going to be great.
I mean, okay. This is good to know. This is good to know for the future. Because I mean, you already had it set up with the 3 levels of don't mess it up with persuasion and whatnot. But I wonder if I could have still walked it through though. Because I mean, I'm still telling the truth, right? I still had to persuade him, even if he didn't, you know.
The only time you lied was when he said, "Who else did you talk to last night?"
I did flub that a little. That's true. It was I bent it a little bit. I said I was with Hagen the whole time, which was true. Other than sleeping, because he was with me the entire time. However, you're right. I said I didn't talk to anybody else other than Hagen, and that was the lie that it was.
Yes, that's the only time that you really. Yep. Every other time, Brindle didn't know what was up.
That's true. I tried to walk around it as much as possible. That one I knew I flubbed up, and I was waiting to see if I had to do a deception roll or not. But it was 90, still 95% true. So yeah.
I talked to my roommate.
True. Nice. That
That's
also
true.
would have worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I also talked to my roommate. Yep. So that would have been a good one.
Yeah, well done.
Like Walter said, there's always room for improvement, and I will learn to do better next time.
I will close the tab for surprise round critical hits, and we can move on. Hell yeah.
Oh.
I think this is a good place to take a break and decompress, and we'll deal with the Rainier problems.
Shake off the zoomies.
Yeah, I'll take a quick break and be back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So be right back. I'm saying, like, enchantment and necromancy magic in Waterdeep are highly regulated, right? They understand the benefits because enchantment also gets you magical weapons, and enchantment also gets you like a bunch of cool things that are not mind control as well. But they also realize that it is an incredibly dangerous magic that you could just hijack someone's mind for days, weeks, or years at a time and have them and rob them of their free will to do stuff. And that's terrifying in a magical world. So they're like, yeah, this is highly regulated, and using enchantments on people that are mind controlling are in fact illegal. And if we find you doing it, like, you're going to jail. Necromancy is in the same boat. Like, they realize like healing magic is technically necromancy in 5e. So they're like, look, not all necromancy magic is bad, but we realize that animating the dead and making them do all sorts of crazy shit, that's very dangerous. Like, so we got to keep a real close eye on this thing.
And unethical.
All right.
You live your whole life working, and then you die, and some asshole comes along and makes you keep working.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, some
Should be
nobles would
illegal.
love the
Yeah.
free labor force of just animated people. So
Now I'm not saying Brindle would ever do anything illegal, but
of course not.
if he were to mind control one of those lieutenants under Walter into admitting that they were the ones to give him away to the City Watch, that would be phenomenal. And I'm just saying that overall, if you really look at it for the greater good, it's not really like an illegal thing that Brindle would be doing. Right.
I like that. I like that you took a lot of points in acrobatics to really just like backflip your way through the argument.
I don't think you can get people to commit suicide with suggestion.
Which is what that sure
Which is what
sounded like.
that sure
This is taking a
sounded
turn.
like.
This is taking a fucking turn.
Clearly not suicide at all. I mean, because admitting that you gave Walter up to the cops is not, in front of Walter, would certainly not be suicide. I mean, no, nobody's saying that.
No, of course not. Of course not.
It's dark.
Ethically, I don't think Lavinia is going to let that one happen. She's like, no.
But I do enjoy that Brindle shifted from like zany heist movie to The Departed.
Oh yeah, like immediately.
Yeah. It's like,
But
like,
still maintained the zany heist movie dialogue.
yeah, it's like The Departed with Benny Hill music, but like people are still getting out of elevators and shot in the face, and it's like, oh man, this is kind of whimsical but very dangerous. Like, oh god.
That's a title of Brindle's memoirs. It's The Departed, but with Benny Hill music. It's it's good stuff.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, now that Brindle is, because I was telling them off camera, I was like, oh, look, there were two options. Either, more than two options, but there were two hard options at either side. The option one was, hey, cool. I guess you are cool. We're going to go break these guys out then. Come on. Option two was, I unload this gun with a whole bunch of attacks and then see if Brindle's still standing, and then we see if he gets out. It was a middle ground, but those are the two real extremes.
I mean, yeah, would have been Brindle would have been trying hard to get out, so we would have found all like as many different ways as possible. It would have been very interesting.
You had a fighting chance, but the odds were not in your favor. I will close Walter's character sheet for now, though.
What level is Walter? What level is Walter?
Higher than you.
Just everyone's higher than us.
If it helps, he took about 90 points of damage before he went down in that fight.
You know, it doesn't help all that much. Actually.
And that does not count the 10 hit points he had.
Is Walter aware that I have a grappling hook? I mean, I don't know if he respects the grappling hook that I have, and then how I easily could have escaped any situation that Walter would have put me in.
He's more of a door kicking kind of gangster who scoffs at grapple hooks.
See, he just doesn't understand. He would have found out. If it had gone the other way, Walter would have found out. I would have pulled out the grappling hook. It would have been all over.
Yeah, that's true. Grappling hook in the basement, like, where am I going?
I
pull a pipe down, like.
But it's like a steam pipe, and it fills the room with mist. And
that is exactly how it would go too. Oh my god,
undispellable mist.
Like, oh, the mist, and now I can't see, and he just phases out and runs through the walls, and now, oh my god.
Listen.
Who needs Misty Step when you have a grappling hook?
Let's redo the scene. Actually, I kind of want to see that.
Go back.
Let's go back. Let's redo it.
Take it again from the top.
Yeah, I like this arc. This worked out pretty well. I would like to not.
Fair. Well done. Bee and Lavinia, and a short time later, Riv as well. You all convene at Blackstaff Tower. They sent Silas with you. Silas conjured a Tensor's floating disc to kind of help get Rainier back over to the tower.
Sorry.
No, I need to know.
Yeah. What intrusive thought did you have?
I had an intrusive thought because a Tensor's floating disc can only hold up to like 50 pounds, but I only weigh like 25 pounds.
I'll go more than that. It's like almost 500, I think.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, so I could totally ride a Tensor's floating disc at the surface.
You just throw all your gold on it from your dungeon crawl and just have it fall behind you.
Shit, yeah. All right.
So,
all right.
But you all have reconvened in test room 1. All right, Lavinia, Riv entering Blackstaff Academy for the first time and seeing just how grand this place is, and just the insane amount of just magic, and then the magical kind of grounding that's in here as like things arc or shift, and they're like caught by different statues or placards on the wall, and like you'll see things light up and then like different colors trickle down the wall, or it's like sometimes the walls will change shapes, but ultimately will be grounded as these spells are tested and go off. And the testing room is even more so. It is a room just filled with arcane symbols, wall, floor, ceilings, inside and out, with multiple strange looking devices. Bede recognized them as like smaller grounding devices to kind of catch stray magic that could interfere with what's happening in the testing room, and to also contain anything that happens to go wrong in the testing room.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of you, Silas, Rory, Rainier, and Calvin Runson are all standing outside this room. If you're meeting the Blackstaff for the first time, he is a tall, dark. I have a photo actually.
Bring in the man.
Yeah, show us
come
the
on,
man.
Come on, come on. Who am I going to flirt with this time?
Show me the face that I sassed to.
Is this Arinson?
Rinson. Yep. That's a
I mean,
good.
as I recall,
There we go. A lot of buttons to make a picture appear.
it's a lot of buttons, man.
All right, I gotta tell it to not display Walter anymore. And instead, display.
You walk into the Blackstaff Academy and it's Walter.
Hey, we're not done.
That would be a real twist.
Yeah.
The black staff is actually Walter.
Like, how did it be the whole time?
Surprise, bitch.
Or the other way around, right? The black stuff is in fact Walter. He's just an illusion.
So you found my secret heist I'm running.
Oh no.
I can't actually see him on my tiny little phone screen.
I'll put a
Yeah, put
image
him
in the
put him
Discord
in
too.
the thing. In the
Oh, I
Discord.
haven't seen that photo of him.
'Cause I don't have. Am I the only one here who does not have a dual monitor set up?
I don't
Potentially.
have a dual monitor.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
That's
just have a massive fucking monitor.
No, I have 3.
Yeah, fuck you.
I don't have a dual monitor. It's the only way to keep all this straight, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. No, he kind of sketch. Riv, you can do better. Riv, you've already done better. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are we saying about Rainier right there?
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
also, like you and Rainier haven't even had the time to have your talk yet, and you're gonna flirt over his body. I'm sorry, Lavinia might have some feelings about that. Lavinia doesn't even like Rainier.
Yeah, also, look, it's the Blackstaff Academy. These are my flirting grounds.
Like, he's not even cold yet. He's still alive.
Lavinia's like, are you for real?
You may flirt with Silas.
No, that's
Honestly-
Brindle's
Honestly,
Like,
That's true. Brindle has to flirt with Silas.
How do you feel about rocks,
that's
dude?
true.
Brindle has to get a stone.
brought him a rock.
I have to make a rock garden just to invite Silas over.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
You're
the
like-
correct outcome.
Yes.
You're like kicking the
This
door
is
to your house and like rummage around, be like, "Hey man, where's your rock collection?" You said you had like a whole room of them. Where are they?
I made up a lie that I was interested in rocks,
It's so good.
and now I have a whole rock garden because then this person
It's
came over
actually
to my
a
house.
more difficult way to get like this is more difficult to deal with than the Walter situation. I don't know what to do. It's
Ask Riv for help. Obviously, they are the person to go to on relationship advice.
Facts.
Oh my god.
Kelvin says, after introductions and very abrupt small talk, we're just good. Okay, you're all here. Time is of the essence.
B
Who
is
is my
wearing
anchor?
goggles. Puts the goggles on.
I
B-
believe
B,
I am
who's-
the anchor.
Okay, good. I need you to focus on everything you know about your friend Rainier. Interactions, moments of high emotions. We're trying to call him back. So think positive. Negative things could potentially repel him.
Okay, so when you say heightened emotions, not negative heightened emotions, but positive heightened emotions.
Yes. I want to act as
Understood.
a beacon to bring him towards us.
Think sexy. B does not say, but she thinks really hard.
So for the purposes of mechanics, Riv, you are concentrating.
Cool.
All right. Now, what I will say is, as you were concentrating, if there's a risk to lose that, you can gain advantage by describing what thing you are focusing on. I ask that you keep it PG-13, but
Heard.
yes. Oh,
Leftier After Dark wants to know.
yeah, like
That's Patreon content.
yeah. You got to pay premium for that shit. We don't have a Patreon that has After Dark content.
Yet.
We're building the material right
Yeah.
now, tonight.
I will stop writing Lavinia's backstory and start writing something else. I won't.
You can keep writing Lavinia's backstory.
I was going to say, what's in Lavinia's backstory?
Listen,
Advin.
we should probably do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we should probably bring this dude back from the
I'm so
astral plane.
scared though.
I know.
Check out her OnlyFace.
I love it.
Good night, everyone. I gotta roll some dice. Oh shit. All right.
I'm so scared.
Cool. Blackstaff says, we are going to traverse the astral plane. There's a place central to all things there. That's where we'll start. And Riv, you will be our anchor and our beacon to try to draw him close. When he is close, we may be able to see the tether. But without that proximity, the astral plane is virtually endless. He turns to look at B and Rory and Silas and Lavinia and says, I need every single one of you to come with me. Lavinia, I know this is simply something that you were assigned to do, but the astral plane is dangerous. There are many threats. My full concentration will be on maintaining our astral link. The rest of you will need to be vigilant for physical threats around us. If anyone would like to make a perception check too, I think B, you can do disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. I'm a roll. Is it perception?
And B has
No, I'll
advantage.
roll as well.
Nat
I
20.
won't roll.
Nat 20. All right.
18. 17 on the die for an 18.
Cool.
12.
12. Riv, I think there's just a lot going on, and you're just trying to like keep up with all this, take in where you are, realize that like you just went from having tea with the Castellanters to like now you're gonna be walking through the astral plane, which is insane, by the way. Like normal people don't do this. This is a thing that like crazy people tell stories about at the Yawning Portal, and like half their adventuring group didn't make it back. Right? It's like it's a dangerous but beautiful place. Lavinia, you notice that Kelvin has added a bunch of different pieces of like jewelry, earrings. He has like put a few different components on his belt that just kind of it's actually covered in different like small pouches that go all around. B, the thing you notice on a nat 20 is he's wearing 4 different magical rings. That is not normal for him. He only usually wears 2. Because most people can only wear 2 magical rings without arcane feedback. All 4 of them are covered in arcane symbols and are lightly glowing.
Let me make a how B is B gonna be here roll.
This is another thing too. On a nat 20, you notice that all 4 of them are some type of mental enhancement to track more things at once. So
Cool.
mechanically, he can concentrate on multiple things.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 1 on how B is B going to be about this, and I think she immediately is like,
You're wearing 4 rings. How are you managing the arcane feedback from that? That's incredible. I've never seen anything like that. Oh, sorry. Focusing.
Years of arcane discipline, but when this is over, I'd be happy to teach you.
absolute just like no chill. This is the coolest thing she's ever heard in her life. She's trying to be professional, but she's like,
Yeah, concentrating on one spell at a time is an arduous task. He could potentially do 4.
this is the coolest thing she's ever seen in her life. This is like a paleontologist getting to actually like touch with their hands that full ankylosaurus, like that fully preserved ankylosaurus. Not fossil, but like with the skin and all still preserved. This is the coolest thing she's ever seen in her life.
He says, now, before we go, I'm going to make sure everyone is prepared to endure potential danger. And casts in rapid succession 2 spells over all of you. First one is a shield spell. You can use your reaction up to 3 times to use the shield spell. The second one is absorb elements. You can also use that 3 times. As those things, basically a shield covered in a series of different arcane colors, red, blue, yellow, white, right? Just settles over each of your chests and then it kind of absorbs into your body with like a warm, almost tea feeling as it settles. So the last thing I will say on this is do not get separated. The ability to open planes to other worlds is limited by proximity. If you go too far from the group, there's no guarantee I can bring you back. You have any questions before we leave?
I think B has got just sort of like pulls out the her arcane focus and is like ready to go. Which is again, it's a T-square.
Vinny is debating if she wants to tell Oddvar about this, and I don't think she's gonna.
Oddvar loves the astral plane.
He does love the astral plane, but is he gonna be so weird about this?
Oh, 100%.
What is he not weird about?
His
Like, I'm
name's-
just gonna put that out there.
That's true. You know
Give him
what?
a chance to have a good time.
His name's Oddvar.
I might want to let Green Rock know that I'm about to leave the plane and that it shouldn't worry. I will be back.
Where is Green Rock right now?
Oh God. Would B leave Green Rock? Oh.
Oh yeah, Oddvar would have his feelings hurt.
He would have his feelings hurt. Fuck.
I think B.
Green Rock worried now.
No.
Oh, my career died? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Green Rock would have a problem with it. I think B. Okay, I want to clarify something. When Green Rock said that it could not be taken from me. If I walk away, and B would have clarified this with Green Rock. If I leave Green Rock on the ground, or if I leave Green Rock in my room and somebody comes and picks it up, does that count as being taken from me?
Of course, you relinquish control as my courier.
Okay, so yeah, Green Rock has got to be on me.
Okay.
Yeah, Green Rock's got to be on me.
But he's in the bag of holding with his little spell jacket. He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. The Green Rock is on me. There would probably be just a quick like moment of like on the astral plane.
Yeah, I think Lavinia's standing there. She's got her spear. She's kind of standing there and she's debating, and then she does think about Odvar would feel horribly left out if I don't at least tell him. So she kind of like clears her throat a little bit and she says, "We might have one more coming."
Hmm?
And then she thinks very hard about Odvar's name, because that usually is what gets him.
Odvar pops up. Lavinia, it's been too long. Do we have a righteous and noble quest?
Odvar, it's been less than 24 hours, but okay.
Time flows differently where I come from.
Speaking of, we're going to the astral plane to get Rainier back.
Looks over at Rainier, but Rainier's right here.
Look at him again, carefully.
Looks, his little eyes flash, and there's like a snort that comes out of his little little snoot, and just goes, "I see the concern. So this is a rescue mission."
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Was he taken by evil fiends, terrible foes?
Yeah, I would say so.
We shall bring them swift justice and find our friend.
Mm-hmm. And then Lavinia looks back up from where she's like looking down at the ground at Odvar. Then she just looks back up at the black staff and says, "Now this is all of us."
The black staff actually smiles and is like, Olifant, greetings. I'm Kelvin. And Odvar's like, I'm Odvar, seeker of truth and justice. It's pleasure to meet you. You're more than welcome to join us. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
Okay.
ready.
You all enter test room 1. And he says, take a moment, steady your breathing, and be prepared for some vertigo. And his staff lights up. And he gently touches it to the arcane runes on the floor. And they start to glow and then open up as all of you fall through the floor. The others who are observing this just see all of your bodies slump down gently to the floor and lay down as you are projected into the astral plane. There's a series of lights and colors that spiral around you as you fly through this tunnel of lights. It is disorienting, confusing, and nauseating, but also wonderful. Weightless. The aches and pains of your body are gone. And there's an odd floating sensation that kind of comes with it. As you fly through this vortex and abruptly come to a halt as all the shapes and colors you were seeing start to drift into focus. Do me a favor, everyone make a dexterity saving throw, please. One for Oddvar. Oh, nat 20. Damn.
16.
That's
Silas, nat 1.
21. Oh no, Silas.
Silas!
I got an 8, so I'm not doing
Mhm.
much better than Silas.
Rory coming in hot with a 7.
Oh, God.
Everything Rory does is hot.
Oh no, all the nerds!
Yes, all the
And
sorry,
the-
Lavinia and Riv got what?
21 for Rev.
16 for Lavinia.
You two and the Blackstaff plant your feet firmly on what looks like a blue-shaped astral, like a comet almost, as there's effectively these strange mountains that don't quite match up geographically to like how a mountain should be, but these odd skylines of just rocks in the background floating. And you realize that as you look far enough, there are edges to where you are that you can drop off into nothingness, or rather, this beautiful aurora borealis formation of lights that surround you. But you could still fall. The rest of you do not land on your feet. You land with a very hard thud on your faces or what have you. This Oddvar kind of flaps his wings and like drifts gently to the ground as well. Silas like gets up and like quickly like puts his glasses back on and brushes off his robes. Same for Rory.
same. Just like
Goggles are askew.
goggles askew. Just all the grad students and junior faculty just got overconfident in their ability to handle this shit and did not brace enough.
As you pick yourselves up and dust off a bit, you realize that the strange mountain you're looking at, the reason it doesn't look like a proper rock formation is because now that your eyes have adjusted and your, well, not quite stomachs, but, you know, your projections have reoriented a little bit. It looks like a giant humanoid that from Tales Beyond had been maybe had fallen or been finally destroyed as this gargantuan one-time god had fallen to the ground and is now nothing but, well, bones. And
Is it the same forgotten god that we've very recently run into? In the
it is not.
Okay.
But that's a very good question.
Okay.
Trying to keep track of all these forgotten gods.
It's so hard. You just kind of slip out of your memory, you know?
Mm.
At the skull, which is closest to you, maybe a mile away, you see tiny whiffs of smoke coming out the top. And you actually see what looks like a little bit of movement and construction around the skull. And Kelvin says, "This is our first stop. Are you familiar with Crosswinds Keep?"
What was it? What?
Crosswinds Keep.
Crosswinds Keep. Can I make a history check or a arcana check?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Which one? Which one is that?
Either one. You would have a slightly lower DC on Arcana, but history is valid.
Okay, I'll do arcana then.
I'll do history because I can't really justify Arcana.
I'm gonna do a different die next because that
This one won't stay on the fucking table.
That's a 9 total. I rolled a 3.
It's been referenced in things you've read, It was not your primary thing you were trying to retain at that time, and therefore you have notes about it somewhere.
Yeah, I think B sort of does the like the the very obvious student cautious nod of like, I understand, I know what it is, please don't ask me any questions.
15 for history.
Okay. This is like a rare book you probably checked out of a library. So, catching up on the chat or the Black Staff. This is a odd book you probably got from the library, but Crosswind Keeps is a known location in the astral plane where it's considered to be the as best as possible center of the plane and one of the safer places you can travel to. People of all types travel and live there. On a 15, some of the things that would have been mentioned in that book: Githyanki, Illithids, Yugoloths, strange otherworldly creatures that are known to like specialist researchers, but the average person in Waterdeep would just see them as either myths or rumors or would never even know what they are. Other things pass through here too, but those tend to be astral denizens. Denizens of the astral plane, sure. And somebody kind of nods at Lavinia your recognition and says, "This is where we start. Let's go." And begins to walk towards the skull.
I'm following him.
Rory and
I'm
Silas are
going.
like scrambling in the back.
I'm not going anywhere else. I'm
Yeah,
following
just,
him.
just little ducklings. Little ducklings.
We were told not to get separated.
Make way for ducklings.
Make
is-
way for ducklings.
Super important.
I think B will sort of whisper to Lavinia, thought about like maybe getting some rope and like all like holding on to the rope or like tying it around our waist, but I thought maybe that would make us look too much like noobs, and maybe there was some value in not looking like noobs.
Well, you never want to look like a tourist. Also, you don't want to risk one person falling off of the edge and then dragging the entire group behind them.
You know, I had that thought as well. So
The rope
Good
is a double-edged sword.
it's, you know, it pulls both ways.
So true, bestie.
V, you do hear a voice in your head that just says, "Huh, it's wonderful to be home. These things just feel so much more familiar."
Can you tell me anything about this place?
Hmm. You should not be here. It's dangerous
Yeah.
for a courier.
I agree. And I'm sorry that I'm not showing you something new and different, but hopefully you'll see some new and different actions by people.
Hmm.
In that, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people die doing stupid shit in the astral, so hopefully you'll see someone survive stupid shit in the astral. That's what I'm going for.
The skeleton is new.
This one that I'm walking on right now?
Although it has been some time since I've been back here.
Hey, Lavinia, how long has this how long has
What was it? Crossbow Keep?
Crosswinds Keep.
Crosswinds Keep? How long has Crosswinds Keep been the like been here, been the sort of safe haven of the astral.
Thousands of years?
Kelbo would answer and say, not since 972.
And what year is it now?
1492.
What is it?
1492.
Yeah, 14.
1490.
So about 500 years ago.
500 years ago. Okay. All right. All right. Context.
Yeah.
Context is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But again, that's material time, plane time. The astral plane moves differently.
Oh, does weird shit, does shenanigans. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's just sort of for bees, be like, it's important occasionally for B to remind herself that this rock is of what this rock is.
No, that's good.
That which is to say, not precisely her friend. But yeah, B could sort of just continue following Kelvin and say I think to Green Rock, do you have any tips or tricks for finding things out here? Things or people?
Hmm. Things tend to get lost here. Although there are magics that can find missing things, but they draw quite a lot of attention in places like this.
I have a spell for locating objects. I don't know if that's going to be enough to locate a person. I might be able to make some modifications with the Blackstaff's assistance.
I could help you amplify it. It may act as a beacon for others as well, though. Perhaps lost things are more Doomithorn's realm and not mine. But regardless, I could make your spell more powerful. There are risks.
Okay. Okay. It could act as a beacon. It could call dangerous things to us. What would those dangerous things be? What would trying to ask the right question. What would those dangerous things be looking for?
A source of nourishment.
Mm.
Magic is quite a lure here.
Oh. So any arcane spellcasting is going to be a problem.
In small doses, no.
Okay.
The things
right.
out there are hungry. You're walking through this like blue rocked wasteland towards this giant skull.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling so confident right now.
You kind of
Yep.
Vinny's very much in a this might as well happen type of mindset.
so you cross the rest of the open plain and head a little closer. You can see actually around the base of the skull, it is gigantic. It is the size of some castles that you've seen in Waterdeep. And the small things of construction are actually tiny houses or tents. There's about 100 of them, kind of just spread out, all sorts of different models. Some are just rocks that have been stacked up. Some are as simple as like hammocks. Some look like they've been made into like odd nests, and some look like an actual just house made of wood. And they all kind of push you towards what looks like a main entrance that is in the gaping mouth of this skeleton. And Kelvin says, there is safety inside the keep, but I need to warn you, the things you may encounter here, they will be friendly inside. They are compelled to be. Do not accept anything from them. Just because they can't harm you physically does not mean they can't dig their claws in another way. And it is important that you are kind to both Brand and Malala. They're good people.
But don't take anything from them either.
They will be our hosts.
That is not the answer to my question.
I understand. They are fine. They keep the peace.
How's the second name spelled?
It is Moala. Moala.
Okay.
And he walks inside, and disappearing into the darkness of the mouth of the skull.
I'm not letting him disappear. I'm right there. Mm-mm.
As you enter, you find yourself in a very cozy, well-lit and warm tavern. Just like you'd see back in Waterdeep. Behind the bar, there looks to be a elven female who's like very quickly getting drinks for people. Around the tables, though, you see a strange sight. One of the tables has three very lean, almost predatory looking green skinned individuals with large pointed ears. They have a small arsenal with them that they have just set beside their table. They look like they are fully prepared for a war. You all are welcome to make a blanket Arcana, or this should be Arcana for sure.
New die.
It'll be flat for me, but I'll try it.
I got a dirty 20.
Hell yeah!
I got a natural 20. Let's fucking
Hell yeah.
go, Riff.
All
I
right.
got a 7 on the die, so that's a 14.
Okay, that's solid. Those were all. B, you have access to a shitload of research notes, so you're in a good place.
Yeah.
You recognize these as Get the Yankee. They are a race that lives in the astral plane, and one of their core tenets is they wage war on illithids, or mind flayers. And as you look across this bar, the reason why they look so armed and so angry are there are two illithids. Both of these like slightly almost orchid purple looking creatures with like strange tentacles coming out of their mouth. And like these robes with almost like high backed decor behind them. sitting on the other side, glaring at one another. On those rolls, you also know that mind flayers are incredibly dangerous psionic creatures.
It's in the name. It's in the name, honestly.
Correct.
Flaying is not a gentle, comfortable word. It's a very visceral, violent, specific imagery.
So not friend-shaped.
Not friend-shaped.
That's all I need to know.
Not friend-shaped.
Do not let the I've got it.
Do not let the tentacles fool you.
Do not make out with the mind flayers.
Do not. They bite.
They got nasty beaky mouths in those tentacles.
Just
the last thing you see is what looks like just a dude. just a dude in very nice, like, rich robes of like a blue with a little bit of yellow or golden highlights, who is sitting at a corner table with a very, very long scroll of parchment, and he's like very carefully, and you can't see what he's writing, but like you can see it looks like beautiful calligraphy that he's writing on this almost now 2-foot long scroll as he's like carefully adding information to it. And he looks up as you all walk in and kind of just shrugs himself and continues writing. And the elf behind the bar looks at all of you and says, Kelvin, great to see you. Who are your friends? Kelvin says, Moala, always a pleasure. If you all would like to introduce yourselves, I'm going to make the rounds and have some quick conversations. And walks over towards the Githyanki's. She's like, so, first time here?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, welcome.
Yes.
This is Crossbin's Keep. You're the safest place you can be in the astral plane, honestly. What can I get you?
Actually, I'm going to look at Oddvar to see if I can tell if this is his first time here, if Oddvar frequents this bar.
I was like, I'm not allowed.
Are you not supposed to be in here right now?
No, I am allowed to be in here. Sometimes the fight for justice doesn't stop at a doorway. And
Oddvar, what have you done?
I will respect the tenets of this place while we are its patrons. And then just glares at the mind flayers.
Why don't you go sit with your new friends? And I'm going to point at the Githyanki. Since you've got.
I don't feel like that's a great. I don't feel like that's a great idea. Actually, to put the guy who kind of wants to beef with the mind flayers with the other guys who kind of want to beef with the mind flayers. Let's all just not have beef and have some gin.
We have gin. Fresh from Waterdeep.
Great.
Who's your supplier?
Oh. Hold on, I actually have a name.
Who's on the regular making this trip? Is it Della? Because I'm not drinking it.
Absolutely the fuck not.
No, hold on. There's definitely a weekly trip that happens here. Hold on.
I'll bet Delacar drinks some nice gin. I bet that motherfucker has like fabulous taste in liquor.
It doesn't matter. He's a greasy bitch.
I know he's a greasy bitch, but I know a lot of greasy bitches who have like really good taste in alcohol.
That's
terrible
fair.
Taste in literally everything else.
That is fair.
So, she says, "Oh, it's a lovely dwarf named Wilfrey with the Brewers Guild. Goes by about once a week.
Nice.
I know Wilfrey.
No, but CW might.
All right.
Gin? We have wine. We also have food. Brand's back in the kitchen if you want us to cook you something up.
I don't think I should, given the instructions I was given before we got here, drinking wise, but I don't know. Do you have any?
100% B is ordering because it's what you do at a bar and is not going to drink it. Like this is something that she is going to be holding because you're at a bar and you have to hold a drink.
You don't want to look like a tourist.
You don't want to look like a tourist.
She serves people a round of drinks and just as she's talking, just says, "So, don't see a lot of." Kind of looks at the rest of the patrons and you. What brings y'all here?
Field trip.
Oh, lovely. Have to learn some things or what?
Yes. Yep. I'm Silas and I are grad students at the academy.
Silas like waves and blushes a little bit.
I'm with the City Watch. I'm here just to keep an eye on things.
I'm a thespian and looking for inspiration.
They're my roommates.
Yeah, that too. The real reason we got to come along on this.
Well, that's lovely. Honestly, it's nice to see people going out and doing things together. So, welcome to our place. Is there anything I can help you kind of get oriented to? It's kind of a crazy little, but cozy, nice place, right?
Actually, I do have a question about that specifically. How do you orient here? Because I'm noticing that up, down, like directionality, as I understand it, really seems to be a problem here.
Yeah, it's all in the mind. Now, bear in mind that you can still very much fall off of things, and
I fully
you won't
understand
die.
mind over matter, not going to be the way to go.
You have to focus on which way you think is up. The trouble is that only works on solid ground. If you do fall off something, you won't necessarily die, but you will fall into an endless void of stars that you may or may not be retrieved from. But this is a place of mostly structure, but you got to keep focus here. Now, the keep, honestly, that's not a problem. But out there, like, you just don't start to drift off, or you might find yourself literally drifting off.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you hear a voice from behind you, and the gentleman who is like scribing this very long scroll, it seems to like has rolled it up and just walked over and says, "I couldn't help it over here that you are looking for, well, inspiration or knowledge, perhaps a muse of some type. Perhaps I could be of service."
Who are you?
My name's Damien.
I'm insight this check. Nope. Nope. Insight.
Is he hot?
Is he
Of
hot?
course he's hot.
Let me get you a photo of Damien.
I gotta be honest. I feel like B isn't even gonna turn around and look. I feel like B is just immediately gonna be like, "Nope, we're good. Scenic vistas are what we are after."
You said Can I insight him? Am I allowed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Natural 20, 23.
Natural 20.
I'm using the Piper dice because I live in fear.
There we go. There's the image. I'll put it up. Natural 20. That's a good roll.
Rainier is sleeping on a disc behind you. Actually, wait, to clarify, did Rainier come with us? Rainier's body didn't come with us.
No. The body is safely kept back in the
Okay.
in the test room.
I don't know why in my head we were bringing the body with us too. Like we were just gonna boink him in there. But
no, and it's just to make sure that nothing else bad happens to him.
just to make sure that somebody's got eyes.
Yeah, 100%. Why is this thing not coming up? Okay, there we go. You are keyed. Yes, good. Where did VS go?
Yes, I will. Lavinia is suspicious of this man.
Shouldn't be.
Have you met Lavinia?
Yeah, that's probably wise. There we go.
Oh no, he is hot.
I will. I'm watching you.
Don't do it.
Don't
Did
do
you not hear what the severe wizard man said? Oh, he is
Like
hot.
I told chat, this is a JD reaction. This is not a Riv reaction. Riv is actually focused on getting Rainier back.
Yeah.
All right.
As Steph just said, this is a thirst trap.
This is
and
a thirst
I cannot
trap.
be held responsible for that.
I want to take that cravat. I want that cravat.
What is the vibe of this fop?
On a nat 20, here's the thing. You take one look at this dude and you're like, wow, that's a polished, well-spoken, elegant individual with a burning intensity in his eyes that is almost captivating. And all your instincts say, man, you should really trust this person. And a tiny voice in the back of your head goes, danger.
I think Lavinia just like flexes her one hand and is just like, no, we're fine. We're on a schedule.
Ah. Well, that's certainly disappointing to hear. Although I do have a very open table if you have a little time before you leave. If anyone would like to exchange knowledge, ideas, or look for inspiration of some type, it is somewhat of a passion of mine.
The exchange or the knowledge itself?
Both. The best learning comes from others. Once you think you know everything, you've stopped growing. I'll leave you to your drinks. If you change your mind, I'm over there. And goes back and kind of pulls out the scroll he was writing and just continues.
Something's not right about that man.
Lavinia, I know you don't like a lot of people, but you don't need to be rude.
Trust me, Riv, something's not right.
Advar just goes, he seems nice.
Advar?
Sorry, nicer than the Illithid.
We're in a place where half of the people want to eat us, and the other half are the kind of people who are capable of surviving in a world where half of them want to eat them. Any interaction you have in this place should probably be perceived as inherently adversarial, even if
Hmm.
he's very pretty.
He is very, very
And
pretty.
he is very pretty.
Podvar's kind
We're
of size.
Advar. Advar. Come on now.
What? It can't always be pursuit of justice. Sometimes pursuit of knowledge.
Knowledge.
That what
pursuit
you're
of knowledge
pursuing?
of that ass. Hey.
Silas is like, yeah, I kind of want to know, but also I know better.
Silas? Silas, I don't know you very well. That man would chew you up and spit you out. And not in the fun way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a bad idea. Gin, was it? Yeah, I'll take a gin.
Silas, we can do better for you. I will be your wingman if you need someone to go out with you.
Really?
Of course.
I would love that.
Well, listen to Lavinia and stay away from Damien, and if you do, and we all make it back alive, it's a date. But
Mm.
not a date with us. Trying to get a date for you.
I'm gonna
I would. That sounds great.
I'm gonna go be real short and eavesdrop on Kelvin. And
All right, have fun.
Kelvin,
yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
I feel like that's a better choice of your time than whatever the fuck that man in the corner has going on.
Uh-huh.
I need to.
He's doing me a concern.
You go over and you can hear this conversation. Kelvin is speaking a different language that I don't think you know.
Ooh.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Gnomish, Common, Dwarvish, and Sylvan.
None of those track.
None of those track.
As he's talking to these three Githyanki, but he seems to be having a rather pleasant conversation with the three of them. And you do see he pulls out a small pouch of gems and sets them on the table and is conversing with them. And the three of them look at each other, look at the gems, don't immediately respond, and then after a couple of seconds, one of the ones with much broader shoulders starts to looks like it's almost giving directions.
Okay. I'm going to ask Rory.
This place is incredible. I've read about it, but I like being here, and also it's so much fun and lighter here.
It
Like
is.
it's kind of cool, right? It's just you kind of do a little hop and you hover. It's
Yeah,
it's just
that's kind of I gotta be honest, I'm significantly lighter than you. It makes me a little nervous about the whole floating off into the endless void.
maybe we get you a rock or something to kind of hold
Like
you.
hold me down. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Ballast.
yeah,
It's an important
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Sorry, you were about to say something.
I was wondering about the advisability of casting comprehend languages.
I don't think it could hurt. I mean,
Is it wise to cast magic right by mind flayers?
I mean, this Kelvin
I
did
read
say
a
this
lot
was
of
a.
trashy novels that involve mind flayers, so I don't actually know how much of that is real. But
Uh,
they're always, flaying minds, preferably of wizards.
that is a concern. But I trust Kelvin. He said this place is safe. Seems like he's been here a couple times. He knows the owner.
Discretion and saving spell slots is the better part of valor.
Comprehend languages is a ritual spell.
Oh, is it?
It can be cast with a 10-minute ritual and does not cost you a spell slot.
I'm not casting a 10-minute ritual around mind flayers.
They're just gonna be
I got an 18 goddamn intelligence, Geodis. I'm even if I beefed my Arcana check a little bit there. I
like owls watching a small creature go in circles for a little while before they go.
yeah.
Fair. You ponder this and eventually see Kelvin kind of nod respectfully to the three Yankee, and walk back to you and say, one of the benefits of the Yankee are they're nominal trackers. They're tuned to many things in the astral plane, to include changes. And they alerted me of a strange occurrence that occurred around the same time that our friend went missing. So we have a direction. It's a small, you couldn't even call it a planet, but a small astral instance. Match the same energy signature of the one that, well, one that would be consistent with astral travel. That will be our next stop.
How long do you think it'll take us to get there?
I'll need about 30 minutes to do the calculations. We're going to do what's referred to as an astral jump, which is effectively interplane shifting. You could think of it as, and he looks at like B and Silas and Rory. You could think of this as a teleport, but with multiple changing variables, because, well, things don't always stay. Things aren't always where they're supposed to be here. I'll run the math on that, and then we'll be ready to go. I think it'll take us this directly towards the main source. Get some food. Once I'm done, we'll head out. And he pulls out like a small book and starts writing. You see like just some Goodwill Hunting bullshit on his notebook of like just insane theoretical like physics as he's trying to like calculate out. He's like pulling out some like small instruments that don't even make any sense, like, but they like glow and shift and seem to be measuring something as he's like trying to figure out how to actually get to this astral instance that they've described.
Whips out an abacus.
Yeah, I think B is like watching intently and like not really able to follow. Like definitely she's, doesn't quite have the math for this, but you can see like every so often her hands like moving as she's just like mimicking it. Sort of mimicking like the motions that he's going through, just like in the same way that she would watching a master mason, or like who's like a master in a different field than she is. Like so it's very much the same kind of like focus on she's watching a master at work and she's zeroed in.
He kind of notices that and says, "Would you like to help me?"
I I am a grad student. I'm not entirely sure I have the capacity, but if there's something you think I can do, I'm happy to.
No. I believe one of the best ways of learning is by doing. And
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
I do not believe anything will ever be perfect on first attempt. God knows it took me forever to get this right. But you have to start somewhere. Here,
Built
sit
a
with,
lot of crooked walls.
sit with me. I'll walk you through this.
All right. All right.
And is trying to explain this and is a very good teacher, but some of the concepts is like just so there's so many things that you have not built up to like fully grasp. But some of the things he's explaining, you're like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Bee's like got out her notebook and like whenever she's like hitting a point where she's just like, this isn't tracking, she's like taking notes on like everything on like what he's saying it to like things to look up later.
He
Uh
he slides in front of you a like strange looking three-dimensional compass that lights up with like different arcane lights that spins,
mhm.
kind of like showing the position of different celestial bodies, and is trying to explain to you like how this is attuned to like movement in the astral plane and how to read it. Um, it's not intuitive, but
Mhm.
you feel like you like with the notes you've taken and enough practice, you could actually like open one of these up one day and like mess with it. Uh,
Sick.
yeah,
I feel like she's done just enough like open water navigation and like nighttime navigation with CW, like that it's
there's
actually
similar.
almost it's like almost causing a problem because it's similar but not. And like she
Yeah,
keeps trying to lean on those skills and having to like back off from that. And once she like backs off, she's usually able to get it. Um,
that
but
that first 80% is great. That last 20% is just screwing
it's
you.
really, yeah, she's running up against that last 20%.
Mhm.
And it's a killer, but
It's like, oh, yeah, you just
she's
navigate by the North Star and you use this to use your sextant to find this kind of thing. And then you calculate the actual warp jump and you're like, the what? I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
gone.
But yeah, no,
Feeling like it's a sporting event.
she is invested.
So heartwarming.
Look, as what do y'all, what do the rest of you do to pass the time while you're here? You get about 30 minutes while they're trying to work out these equations. Rory and Silas kind of move to the bar and like are on either side of B and Kelvin, like watching this. I'm kind of asking questions occasionally too. And then every now and then, like Silas like looks over at the gentleman in the corner and just is like, no, no. Gets back to talking. What are you two doing?
I think just awkwardly standing next to each other. Just like watching all this.
I think so, but I do actually think as time goes on, as like we've been standing there, in this awkward silence,
Sharing a thing of nachos.
sharing a
Tater
thing of
tot.
nachos.
Tater
Astral
tot.
nachos.
No, tater
Established
tots.
Tater- sorry.
Established tots.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tachos. Tachos.
Tachos. Loaded nachos with tots. Just
But yeah, I
between us.
think, like, yeah, and I feel like it has just been trying to occasionally reach over and grab Lavinia's, like clearly going over that, unmarked delineated but still delineated line and being obnoxious in that way. And I think though, as kind of time goes on, Riv cuts their eyes towards Lavinia and says, Lavinia, you know you're not my favorite person, and I know you're not my favorite person.
Wow.
but
You didn't even have gin.
but there are some things I respect you on.
Mhm.
And I know you're going to be honest with me, probably brutally so. So I know what I'm doing when I ask this. Do you think I did the wrong thing not trying to stop Greasy Bitch from taking Rainier? Because right now we seem to be on potentially a suicide mission. And all I keep thinking is that maybe somehow if I'd stepped in and tried to stop him, this wouldn't have ever happened.
Maybe it wouldn't be happening this way. Maybe it would be doing something different. But given everything I've seen over the last few days, something was always going to happen to Rainier. And I think this is better than you being injured somewhere and not able to help. Because I will be so for real with you, Riv. You wouldn't have survived that altercation. At least not whole.
Yeah, that was kind of my logic for not. I thought I might be a little more useful, not thrown out of a window.
Oh, was that what he was gonna do?
That's what he threatened. Might not have died, but it probably wouldn't have been great. But I don't know. I also wondered if that was just me saving my own skin and letting someone else take the fall because I wasn't willing to take it myself.
It's not a fall. You didn't set them up for anything. They didn't take the fall for you. This was about his fucked up dad. It's not a fall.
Let's hope it's not.
This kind of conversation comes to a heavy close. Two final things happen. One, Damon walks back over to the bar and says, I know, you're on a timeline. But if you're ever interested in just a knowledge exchange, please reach out. And slides 3 business cards onto the table. One just says Damon. On the back side is a little arcane symbol. He says, just press the symbol. Say my name. I'll show up. Enjoy your night. Goes back, rolls up the scroll he was writing on, throws it into a small bag, and exits.
I have enough people watching and tracking me. I really don't need another one. I really don't.
Chat is vicious.
You're not wrong.
I've got just
you do looking
my
at
roster's just thoughtful.
I'll carry that nat 20 from earlier.
Yeah.
There is definitely a lingering, like, arcane echo of curiosity on these cards. And it does kind of feel like, I don't know, when things are getting a little confusing, this could add some clarity. Just a strange thought that passes through your head. And then you shake it away if you wanted to.
The man said, don't take anything from nobody.
They did.
He said, don't do it.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I was there. I
It
was
is.
watching.
We
I
were
was
given
listening.
instructions.
That's what he said. And that man is my ticket out of here. So I'm going to do what that man says.
Mm-hmm.
If the black staff says don't take gifts from anybody, I'm not taking nothing. And the business card counts.
Isn't it really a gift?
He said don't take anything.
The phrase he used was anything. He didn't specify food, drink, business card, book.
He said we
anything.
could get food and drink from the people who worked at this joint.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
One person in particular, because we haven't met the other one. One person in particular. That man's not on the list.
It's true.
On the list. Stay on the list. He can't come in the club.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. The demons ain't getting me.
Not this time. Not today. Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Get
Not
thee
today.
behind me, Satan.
Fair enough.
Silas is going to take it, though, because Silas is a chump.
I'm gonna straight up roll to see if Silas will try and take one of these.
Oh,
He's going to do it.
Silas?
He's going to do it.
Ooh, that's a 5.
Yeah. Silas is a
Says
chump.
no.
We'll fix that in post.
What's Silas's sleight of hand?
Yeah. Okay.
Find
Let's
out.
go.
Let's find out if we notice.
Go ahead and roll perception for those of you who are not studying.
Oh yeah, I am extremely not there. I'm just. This is Della Collins shit posting from the
That's
sidelines.
a 16.
Fuck, it's an 11.
Oh, fuck. I got a 15.
Let me roll for Oddvar because he's there too.
Oddvar, please.
Gotta roll for Rory.
He's got a +1. Rory's studying with the black staff.
Oh yeah, Rory's with me. Yeah.
Oddvar, please stop.
Oddvar fails too. It's a 13.
Silence.
The dice are telling a story. The dice are telling a story.
The dice are telling the story. Silas is gonna get his life ruined by a demon twink.
No, you don't understand. The dice have decided that I have been too nice to my rival, and that my rival
slide that card away. Yeah, Silas manages to, we see on the camera, pocket one of the cards when everyone else is kind of talking. And I think this is the distraction that does it. As Kelvin's almost finished. And he announces to the group, like, I need a few more minutes and we'll be prepared to go. Get your things and be ready. Through the door walks a very tall, kind of almost ruby-skinned person with horns and wings. Anybody looking at this thing would probably think, oh, some type of demon or devil. And from the, like, has just this very open cut shirt and pair of their trousers. But that's not the thing that catches your attention, although it could. Lavinia, what catches your attention is the emblazed warhammer of Tyr on this thing's chest. As it looks like a faded scar, but is visible. And it seems to be showing it off. As it walks into the bar, and there's a exchange of energy as both Lavinia, for a second, you turn before this thing walks in, and it looks at you and just smiles and goes, "Oh, my lucky day, a child of Tyr, all the way out here. Of all the bars to walk into, I've got a bone to pick with you." And I think we'll cut session there.
Oh no!
Oh no!
This is fine. This
Oh,
is so
no.
fine.
I don't want to die.
Silas is gonna get his life ruined by a demon twink, and I'm just gonna get my life ruined by a demon.
Bar fight.
Well, Oddvar gets the fight he wants.
Oddvar's like, let's fucking go.
I'm gonna hide.
So Brindle's just like, man, I was having a bad morning. And like, Flash got to them being like, this insane actual bar fight.
Brindle's trying to call.
Well, it was fine. Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, we didn't tell Brindle we were leaving.
Hey, guys, where you at?
Guys.
Everyone's just all
Brindle. We forgot to tell Brindle.
just wandered off in the astral plane. So like, did we
We
forget
just
something?
fucked off, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to tell Brindle. We forgot to tell Sergio.
You didn't tell Sergio either.
I'm pretty sure I'll bet,
I didn't tell my dad.
Guys.
I'll bet
guys.
Green
Oh
Rock.
my god.
I'll bet Green Rock can get a message across planes, but I'm not sure how much I want to rely on Green Rock with Aronson around.
It's a good thing we brought Oddvar.
I finished my hat.
Oddvar's ready for a bar fight.
Yay,
Where?
hat.
Where's my photo of Oddvar?
It needs to put a pom pom on it. It's gonna get a big white
yeah,
pom pom.
pom-pom.
Let's see. So yeah, we'll figure out what that's about. I don't know why this guy's bothering you, honestly.
You know, it sounds like he got his ass beat, and now he's gonna make it somebody else's problem, like a lot of scrubs.
I usually keep that energy for next session.
Listen,
He does not have that energy.
so it looks like so the scar doesn't look like he like carved the symbol in. He looks like he got bopped real hard, real good, and
It
it
looks like-
stayed.
It looks like it was burned into his chest somehow at some point.
So he got bopped and
Yeah.
branded.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got bonked,
He
Yeah.
got bonked.
and he's about to make it our problem.
And
Fair. I don't even
excited,
technically work for Tyr.
We have not seen Oddvar in action yet. I'm very excited about
That's
this.
not true. He stomped on Tanis.
he did.
Yeah.
He grips up Dennis's face.
He sure did.
Right.
Stomped
That's
on
right. That's right.
Tanis.
Oddvar's like, check this out from the top ring, just into the darkness, into the fight. I'm pretty sure he screamed for justice when he did it too. I'll check the VOD, but that sounds like 80% right to me. So, but yeah, that's cool. I mean, we're just in the astral plane, screwing around. So it's all good. Brindle, there's no cops to bother you. At least no Lavinia cop to bother you.
That's
He's got
true. That's
Hagen.
true.
Hagen will deal with you.
That's true.
No, you have
Hagen.
to. Lavinia's not here. You got to go make your report to Adven. Have fun with that.
No.
No,
That's
I will
fine.
not be making a report to Advent.
Evan's like, yeah, that's
I-
cool.
I-
That's cool. Hey, did Lavinia talk about me or? Yeah, they're gonna
I think-
ambush
I think
the
Brindle
watch
needs
to get the
to-
people out.
He's gonna put all his effort into trying to figure out how to pin this Walter thing on Delacar. I think that's the newest, the new
I
thing.
love-
He's trying to.
That's such a good strategy. I don't think there's any way this can go wrong.
My favorite part is I actually gave myself very low odds on like I don't think we'll actually make it into the astral plane and run into any of this bullshit. And then we did, and I was like, oh, well, fuck me, what do I know?
Yeah.
Like, guess I'll flesh out those notes.
Hey,
I mean,
we're on
to
a
be
time
fair,
limit.
we're on a time limit, and also to be fair, we did run like right up on our time limit. So,
Yeah.
but we're just
Uh,
efficient. We're just efficient players. We're just
Yeah.
efficient.
We had
It's true.
I had some good rolls to get through the boiler room that I was in, the pressure cooker that I was in. So that luckily we got past that more rapidly than say
Yeah,
if this had gone poorly.
My God.
True. You just like find Bedlam's corpse floating out into the harbor. Or
like,
Brindle,
ah.
sorry, Brindle's corpse.
Brindles.
Oh no.
Like, hey, you know what? I got to make it real. I did take a few things off that list I sent. Quite a number, actually. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah. There's let's see, how many did we take off? Let me take a look.
Yeah, how long was the list and how many did we achieve?
I'll tell you how many items are on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 like problems.
Wow.
We ticked off 1, 2, 3.
Day 3, you know what? 3 is okay. 3 is a
keeps
magic
coming
number.
up. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
like how
11
often 3
11
is
was
appearing these days.
11 is how many things we could have gotten done, and 3 is how many we did. Is that right?
No, 11 is the immediate problems that you were dealing with. This literally says there are also bigger problems, but these are the most immediate.
Ah.
So you just got a lot. You're just juggling a lot. But
Yeah.
the fact that Brindle's alive is like a huge win.
That's all. Yeah, honestly.
I think that is true. I mean, speaking for Brindle, I think I wholeheartedly agree.
Good session overall. Let me see if there's anybody on that we can raid. Let me do some outros, I guess, while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I got this music and all I can play. This one. Let's go. Bedlam.
Yes. Hello. Hi. I'm Bedlam. I have been and will continue to be. Now, so I was playing Brindle, Fallow tonight, half elf, who avoided some deadly shenanigans. And we're gonna see where that leads next time, as he gets embedded further and further into his family business of these interim. What would you call them? It's just criminal structure of some sort within
Freelance contractors for an evolving market.
Oh yeah, are they interested in this other Vitalife product? But okay, anyway, so you can find me upcoming in Thy Kingdom Come, which I think we're doing on the 27th. That'll be after Magfest, right? Or is Magfest still going on that Monday?
Magfest is not on that Monday. It is going to be a serious roll of the dice whether or not Amber and I are conscious
in a condition
yeah,
okay
it's gonna strongly depend on what condition our condition is in.
Depending on how they roll, we will it might be the 27th, but anyway, come check it out. We are in our end arc for the season 4 of Thy Kingdom Come. It's very neat. Come and watch Jerome Neer's I don't know, fight for family and covens and taking souls, but angels aren't to be trusted. They're terrible things. So anyway, that's me.
Heck yeah. Della.
Hi, I am Della. I have been B, and I'm learning so much tonight. I've learned so much cool magic, and I fully believe that Silas took that card. Like that makes perfect sense to me. It doesn't make sense that he would do anything else. He's
gotta get up one up on his rival.
He's very smart and very stupid at the same time. Not a lot of horse sense, that one. Anyway, you can find me here every Thursday where I will either be being B or being Rachel Blauhair, Siobhan Ryan, Finley, Dr. Finley, or the bearer of the sacred flame in the haunted duplex that is redacted. Which, are we playing Thursday? Sick. You can see me
We are
streaming.
back.
You can see me streaming from me and Andy's hotel room at MagFest. And so if he shows up shit faced halfway through the stream, I cannot actually control that. I am not his mother.
It sounds
Uh,
nothing like me.
yeah, that doesn't sound like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Now it's going to happen because he's got to commit to the bit.
Mm.
You can also find me running Thy Kingdom Come on second and fourth Mondays, whereas Bedlam said we are in Endgame and they're learning all kinds of new and interesting things about the world in which they are in and the conflicts that they are facing. You can check out our back episodes on the YouTubes. And that's all I got. I guess you could find me on Blue Sky if you want. Sometimes I post at Derla Kernlands.
Great username.
Mm-hmm.
JD.
Hey, I am JD. Tonight I have been Riv, and things continue just to be excellent and fine as they do for all of my characters. Things are always fine. And being on the astral plane, trying to find their boyfriend, completely fine. Not stressful at all. Being the anchor, totally okay. Thinking of happy memories that they've spent with Rainier over the 6 days that they have known him, where he has been crying through half of them. Absolutely fine.
He's out of time.
This is achievable. I do a lot of other things. I'm just going to stick to what is coming up in the next week. You can next find me on Saturday. You will briefly see me on screen early on Saturday when we are doing Finally, 'Twas the Night Before Cheesemas, a Hasmus that got pushed off because of life events, where we will see a whole lot of Mises steal cheese. And it's going to be a beautiful time. And then I will be over with Entropy Emporium for our finale of Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun campaign, where we are similarly traversing dangerous planes. We are currently in the Pale, which is hell, and it is fine. My demons have recently found me and want to go back to using me as a vessel, and I have no doubt that that will go smoothly as we head into Endgame. I will be back here on Sunday for Academy H, where I play Casimir Bright, aka Spectral, who does not think the necromancy is an inappropriate thing to do and will happily reanimate bones and the dead and sometimes kill people when that happens. And then I will be back here and at Entropy running 2 games next week. I will be running They Call Us Villains, a horror masks game on Tuesday over at Entropy. And as Della mentioned, I will be running Redacted, our psychological horror game where everyone is either a haunted house or a set of duplexes, depending on the person. In the intermediary time, I will be over with Guild Superior, where if you like heist games, we are currently in the midst of a cyberpunk heist. And I play character not unlike Riv in that they have the clay face cybernetic, which means they can take any face that they so choose, which is a normal and reasonable thing to do. We're now getting biometric scanners to be able to trick other types of biometrics so we can infiltrate more things and do lots of crime.
That's a long list.
That was only half of the games I'm in, Andy.
Damn.
You need to breathe.
Yeah, sleep,
Breathe, my guy.
Sleep.
Hello.
Julia.
I'm Julia. I've been Lavinia Hale this evening. Say it with me, folks. ACAP does include Lavinia Hale. She's, having a good one. She's a little bit worried about what's going on with her dad, but that's a problem for when they leave the astral plane. If they leave the astral plane, I gotta deal with this man now. I hate to have to deal with a man. Truly and always. You can find me at Hexbot on all social media platforms. I'm going to be here Saturday. I am one of the Mises who's here for Cheesemas. And I'm not stealing the cheese. I'm taking back the cheese. It was our cheese to begin with. I will also be here Sunday for Academy H, where I'll be playing Lyra Patrol. Other than those 2 games, you can find me here every other Wednesday currently for Wildcard Wednesday Rangers Rampant, where I'm playing our Yellow Ranger, and every other Saturday for Class Reunion, where I play Kelly Violet, the horrible rogue cleric hybrid who's just gonna justify a coup. She's gonna justify that coup. And that's all I do right now. Everything I do here at Live from the Apocalypse. I live here, I die here.
Hell yeah. So I'm Andrew. I run this. When I'm not running this, I run Veil Breakers. That is my high tier action fantasy game where they are now borderline level 20, and they're trying to take down a very angry evil lich with a very angry evil army. So a lot of combat in that one, and they're doing a-okay. Outside of that, Magfest. You can see a bunch of us probably there, but Della and I are 2 parts of a 4-part panel that's happening on that Saturday, talking about world building and how to kind of fill in your map and make stuff happen. So that'll be cool. And then I will probably have a drunken cameo on stream behind Redacted somewhere. So, or not. I might actually just be chill. So, can't party too hard on a Thursday for a con, you know? Like, you got to burn out.
You got to start slow. You got to start. You got to
The build up. The ramp.
Right. If you hit the sun on Thursday, it's over.
Yeah.
So, with that said, let's go rate some people. This is Blackwater D&D playing Triangle Agency. I don't know what that is, but that looks cool. So we're gonna rate them.
Yes. Triangle Agency is amazing.
It is very cool.
Right, how to be chill. I mean, I have to sleep at some point, so yes. I'll go with yes. For at least 5 hours of the day, I'm chill. So
And you talk to me about not sleeping enough. I'm just saying.
fair enough. Hot kettle.
He's got access to those army stims.
So meth is a hell of a drug. So, but yeah, you got to buy the like army surplus quality rippets
Oh yeah.
out of your local dollar store. But with that said,
that's why your character in Brendan's game is the way he is.
yeah, he shops at army surplus stores and is not okay. But
And he's from New Jersey.
he's from New Jersey.
And
So
he's from New Jersey.
and he's got a lot going on. So, but with that said, thank you all for hanging out with us. We're going to call it a night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.